of the week. Tonight, the Ohio Valley sports team brings you full game replay action of the Bellaire Big Reds and the Patriots of Wheeling Park. Tonight's game is being brought to you by Belmont Technical College, Bachman Hess Legal Team, Belmont Savings Bank, and Whiteside, St. Clairsville.
Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Wheeling Island Stadium in high school football 2001 as the 2001 high school football season kicks off full swing. Tonight, the Wheeling Park Patriots playing host to the Bellaire Big Reds. Scott Oley along with Dan McGrew back for another exciting high school football season here on WTRF Television. And Coach, as we get ready for this game, as a coach and a former player, what's the opener like from both angles?
Well, you know, one thing, you have a little jitters because you don't know whether you're ready or not. But the big thing is, I always figure, your kids are always ready to play the first game because they've been beating on each other for 3-4 weeks, and they're ready to get against somebody.
We look at these two teams, Wheeling Park and Bellaire, both excellent seasons a year ago. The Park finishing at 9-2, Bellaire 8-3. Both teams playoff teams a year ago in each respective state, West Virginia and Ohio. But each team with some question marks coming into this season, both with some question marks at the quarterback position. Wheeling Park will start a sophomore, Brad Kalski. Bellaire right now, not sure. They're going to kind of go with a rotation tonight between Wallner and Liberati.
Well, I think you have two different avenues you got to look at there. Magistro has been probably the most successful coach in the OVAC over the last 10 years, and Mark's come in and done a heck of a job turning the program around here. From what I read, Mark said he's going to throw the ball, but one thing you know, John is going to throw it. And his coach has told me that they weren't sure what they're going to do, but I'll guarantee you they'll both be able to throw the ball, and everybody they're throwing to will be able to catch it.
Wheeling Park this year also changing their defense around a little bit, going to a 46 that the Chicago Bears made very famous back during the mid-1980s under Buddy Ryan. What can the fans at home look for out of a 46 defense?
Well, I think the big thing is you're going to get different looks of people coming. And the big thing about it is it's a pressure defense. You're going to have 8-9 men up on the line all the time, and you don't know who's going to come. A safety may come, a corner may come. But one thing you have to remember, you're in man coverage, and when you blitz, if you live by the blitz, sometime you're going to die by it.
You look at Bellaire, and boy, are they big up front. This offensive line is as big as probably maybe some smaller colleges looking at these kids they got out there.
Yeah, they are. They're awfully big. I talked to Bruce Stoltz, who's the lines coach, and Bruce said this is probably the biggest group of kids he's ever been around. But once again, they're young. A lot of the big ones are young. But I think they have 4 starters back off their offensive line from last year. And throwing the ball, that's how you win, throwing the ball with good offensive linemen.
Should be a great football game since these two teams started playing each other just a few years ago when Mark Nardoni became the head coach again at Wheeling Park. It's been a great series and a good rivalry between the two schools. The kickoff is coming up next, folks. Stay with us. You're watching high school football here on WTRF. And we are back, everybody, here at Wheeling Island Stadium, ready for the kickoff here tonight between Wheeling Park and Bellaire. Season opener for both schools as it's the opening weekend of high school football here in the Ohio Valley. Plenty of big matchups all up and down the Ohio River tonight, and this is just one of those matchups here tonight between these two schools. Should be a great game. Patriots will be kicking off to start the ball game, and Bellaire will be receiving to open the contest tonight. Of course, as we told you off the top, Bellaire still not really certain who they're going to go with at quarterback. Kyle Ackerman puts his foot to it, kicks it off, down deep the other end, fumbled there by Bellaire's Jeremy Rieger, and it'll go into the end zone for a touchdown, or touchback, excuse me, and so it'll be Bellaire's ball on their own 20 for their opening drive. Here's the way the Bellaire Big Reds will line up on offense. As we said, it'll be either Wallner or Liberati at quarterback. Jeremy Rieger will be in the backfield along with Benji Littell. Josh Baldwin, Vince Demkowski, and Dustin Barnes will all be used at wideouts tonight for the Big Reds. Ben Doyle line up at tight end. Adam Lucy, Matt Duvall, Jason LaRoche, Chad Tobin, and Todd Poe are along that offensive line. It's a big offensive line for the Bellaire Big Reds. Wheeling Park and their 46 defense taking on the Big Reds. First down. Back to pass is Matt Wallner looking to throw. Hit as he throws it. Floating in the air, but it is out of the hands of Ben Doyle, the intended wide receiver that time. The tight end, it was downfield, had a chance, but he was hit just as he went to catch it. It falls incomplete. Let's check the starters defensively for the Patriots of Wheeling Park High School. Josh Boyd, Justin Taravisky, Jermaine Lucius, and Mark Peterson up front along that line. The linebackers for the Patriots are Robbie Downer, Nick Stefano, Jeremy Croup and Cody Tominick. And the defensive backs, T.O. Sears, Keith Banks, and Justin Wood.
On that last play, Wallner had the man open. He just underthrew him, but it was a great play by the defensive back from Park.
Here's Wallner to throw again, Coach, and there's Jermaine Lucius, who had a field day a year ago at Nelson Field in Bellaire on sacks. I believe he had 13 total a season ago for the Patriots, and he gets one right there on just the second play from scrimmage defensively for the Patriots this year. It'll be a loss back inside the 15 to the 14, and it's going to be 3rd and 16 now for the Big Reds. They're backed up big time in their own end.
Lucius was maybe the most outstanding defensive lineman I saw all last year because he puts tremendous pressure. He's got good size. He's awfully strong, and he's quick.
Here's Bellaire on the draw. They'll get it just over the line of scrimmage to about the 16-yard line, and not much else happening there. So Wheeling Park's defense strong on their first series tonight. That's going to make Coach Mark Nardoni pretty happy that his defense is able to come out there and shut Bellaire in 3 plays, and they're going to get the ball back in pretty good field position. The Big Reds will be punting from just outside their own goal line. Benji Littell will be doing the punting, standing just on about the 3-yard line. Here, if you're Bellaire, you hope for a good snap here, too.
Deep for Park is Sears.
And Keith Banks also.
And
T.O. Sears is going to take it,
got it.
but he is wrapped up immediately.
Excellent hands. He was stopped down, covering the kick real well for Bellaire.
I believe it was Dustin Barnes, number 30, was right there on T.O. Sears. Sears, Coach, really just a good job, I think, to hang on to the football because he was hit immediately. There it is again.
He may have wanted to take a fair catch on that, but
good punt too for Bellaire. When you think about they punted inside their own 5, Park starting position on the 43.
So it was about a 40-yard punt with no return. You know, you take that every day.
Here's Wheeling Park offensively. We'll show you their starters after this play. The quarterback, though, is a sophomore, Brad Kowski. He'll throw on first down. Looking to go downfield. Intended, it looked as so, for his tight end, who's Nick Stefano, number 33. Let's look at those Wheeling Park Patriots offensively. As we said, Brad Kowski, just a sophomore, the starting quarterback for the Patriots. In the backfield, Morris Cherry and Keith Banks. Cherry, a very strong, hard runner. Banks, speedy and likes to get outside. Robbie Downer, T.O. Sears, and Nick Stefano. Along the line, the Patriots have Josh Boyd, Kevin Scott, B.J. Cook, Jermaine Lucius, and Justin Teravisky. 2nd and 10 for the Patriots from their own 43-yard line. They'll give the ball to Morris Cherry. Cherry bounces off one tackler, tries to bounce away from another. He's over the midfield stripe and down to about the Bellaire 49-yard line. It'll be a gain of close to 7 on 2nd down, and we'll call it 3rd down and a long 3.
Yeah, they come on the single back set, and they ran a veer trap with the fullback, and the defensive Bellaire closed it pretty good, but Cherry bounced outside, like you said, and picked up 7 yards.
That's the Wheeling Park defense. We'll check the Bellaire defense for you when we get a chance. Bellaire defensively right now. I set for the Park. Cherry and Banks behind Kowski on 3rd down and about 3. They'll give it to Keith Banks. Oh, he's hit right at the line of scrimmage and just dropped right down. Maybe a gain of about a yard.
Todd Poe, middle linebacker from Bellaire, stepped up in and put an awfully good lick on him.
We'll check the Bellaire defense the next time they're back out on the field. Good job defensively that time, though, by the Big Reds.
Yeah, Banks
you said Poe right there.
Yeah, Banks come up in there and looked like there might have been a little bit of a hole, but as I said, Poe stepped up in there and just laid the pad right to him.
Ben Stemkowski back deep to receive for the Big Reds. Kyle Ackerman into punt for the Patriots. It's away a low floating kick that'll bounce at about the 15 and is going to go sideways toward about the 12-yard line. It'll be down by the Patriots, and so Bellaire will take over. 1st and 10 on their own 12-yard line. So each team offensively 3 plays and out, and you know when you're in your season opener, you're going to expect that things aren't going to come out and be as well oiled as you'd hope they'd be maybe by the 2nd game or the 3rd game. So you kind of expect just to get out there, let your kids kind of get acclimated to the game a little bit, let those jitters get away, I would think.
Well, yeah, and of course, in Park's situation, you got a sophomore quarterback in Kowski and Wallner Bellaire, and he's an inexperienced, hadn't played much. And it'll take these kids a little bit of time to get going.
Here's a handoff in the backfield for the Big Reds, carrying at that time Brock Redman, the tailback, and the Big Reds also have a new quarterback this time as well. We said off the top we expected both guys to play, and they're already taking care of that. Dominic Liberati, number 4, he's also just a sophomore in there now at quarterback for the Bellaire Big Reds.
Well, that time Bellaire tried to run a tackle trap, and the middle linebacker from Park, number 34, Jeremy Coop, come up in and stopped it real well.
Second down at about 12, a loss of about 2 on first down on the carry from Redman. Here's Liberati under center, I set, twin wideouts to the top. They'll fake the handoff. Liberati's going to roll. Stefano is chasing him. Liberati still trying to run away, going to go to the sideline. He'll be pulled down by Nick Stefano from behind that time for the Wheeling Park Patriots, and also Jeremy Croup, number 34, middle linebacker, also there out on the tackle for the Patriots. But Liberati showing good knowledge, I think, as a young sophomore quarterback, not trying to force the football and just trying to turn it upfield and gain positive yardage. He gets about 6 or 7 yards.
Yeah, Bellaire come out and run a bootleg with Liberati and tried to flood his zone, but Spears and Wood from Park, the two defensive backs, come up and had the men covered and forced Liberati to run the ball.
Now Bellaire with another 3rd and long. It's 3rd down at about 7. Liberati will run, fake the draw. Now he's going to keep it. Liberati trying to get away from one tackler. He does and gets up to about the 20-yard line. He's still going to be about 4 yards or so shy of a first down. It'll be 4th down and about 4 now for the Big Reds, and he'll be back out to punt once again.
Yeah, he was, Liberati was pressured out, and a nice stop by the strong linebacker, Rob Downer, but the impressive thing about starting the game, Park has come out with the Bear defense, and they are getting the pressure.
Not as good a punt this time by Benji Littell. It's off of the side of his foot, and Bellaire's just trying to get on top of it before it loses any more ground. It about inside the 40 and down to about the 38. So Wheeling Park winning the battle of line of scrimmage right now, or at least possession, that is they'll take over now deep inside Bellaire territory, inside the 40 at about the 39-yard line. So if you're Coach Mark Nardoni, really it's starting to work your way a little bit. You want your defense to come out there and try and keep them back in their own end as much as possible, and then you hope that you do get good field position like this.
Well, as I said, we were talking prior to the game, you know, pressure is the equalizer of a throwing offense, and right now Park's winning the battle of the trenches.
Park with 3 wideouts to the top. They'll give it though to Morris Cherry. Cherry puts his shoulder down and runs over one Bellaire would-be tackler and over the 30 down to about the 28-yard line. He's going to be very close to a Wheeling Park first down, and that's the kind of runner that Morris Cherry is. He's not the kind of runner that tries to elude guys. He's just going to run right over top of people.
Well, that's that same beer trap in there with a single back set, and as you said, Cherry's he was an excellent back last year, and he's an awfully tough inside runner, and just an awfully good high school tailback or fullback type.
Well, Cherry and Banks really complement each other well, because Cherry, the hard-nosed, hard-type runner, Banks, the speedster. So now they have lined out in a slot to the far side in the 3 wides. They'll give it to Cherry again, but this time he's got 3 players on him, but still he's able to force his way forward and fall forward for a gain of about a yard.
Well, they come back with the same play, except they run the beer trap back to the other side, and that time Bellaire was setting in there, and big Adam Lucy, a sophomore, 300-pound sophomore, Bellaire made the tackle. It's a pretty big kid to trap.
They got a big group of sophomores. You just look at one part of their roster here. Jared Smith is 305. He's just a sophomore, 6 foot, 305, and plenty of other players that we'll mention throughout the game as well. Also some big boys up front for this Bellaire team. Here's Brad Kowski. He's going to look to roll, going to go downfield, has a man, Keith Banks, but he underthrows it, and it is nearly intercepted. Probably should have been picked off by Vince Demkowski that time. And you can see Kowski is just a little bit behind on his passes, not leading his receivers enough.
Well, that time Banks broke wide open, and Kowski underthrew it, and he was very fortunate that the ball wasn't picked off.
Probably should have been. Stemkowski just had to go in and out of his hands. And
right.
He's a pretty sure-handed receiver on the offensive side, probably one he'd like to have back. Patriots now with a 3rd and 9 from the Bellaire 27-yard line. So if you don't get much closer, this could be 2-down territory where you might decide to go for it instead of trying to field goal here for Wheeling Park. Patriots going to run a reverse, and they got Keith Banks with a lot of speed. Banks gets around the corner. He'll get down to about the 20. He's still going to mark him just shy of the 19. He's still going to be about a yard shy on the first down. It's going to be 4th and about 1.
They ran a cross buck counter, actually, off of that same action with Cherry hitting up in there, and then Banks come over, picked up, like you said, about 8-9 yards, but Park was, Bellaire was sitting there and held it to the 20, so now they are sitting there with a 4th down and 2.
Park's going to go for it here.
Park's
just
going
deep
for it.
Now they've got Cherry out of the backfield, too.
They got Cherry out there, and they got Banks there coming to the pitch.
Trying to get him outside. He's got the corner. He'll have the first down and more for Wheeling Park. Breaks one tackle. He's over the 10 and down to about the 8-yard line. It'll be first and goal for the Patriots as Keith Banks goes about 10 yards on 4th and 2 for a Wheeling Park first down.
Well, that was an excellent call. That's the first time Banks has been in the backfield as a single back tonight. I'm sure that Blair's going to look for that in
Broke
the
a couple of
future.
tackles too there.
And, but that's obviously they're going to be their routine because Sherry's going to be the inside guy and Banks is going to be outside guy.
Here's Wheeling Park with a first and goal from the 8. That's Banks in motion back to the near side. Cherry, the lone man in the backfield. He'll get the handoff right up the middle. Morris Cherry at the 3, the 2, and down to about the 1-yard line for Wheeling Park.
Once again, it's that same little veer trap, and Cherry's running it awfully well. And that time, Morris Jeffries saved a touchdown for Bellaire. Ball's on the 1.5 yard line.
It'll be second and goal for the Patriots from there. Here again is Morris Cherry just right up in the middle, and that's where you're going to see him get a lot of his yards. Just right up over the center or off the guard. Here's Kowski at quarterback now on second and goal. Keith Banks has to elude one man. Good defensive pressure that time by the Big Reds, getting good.
That was Todd Pogue coming in. Got good penetration.
Very good penetration.
Got Banks in the backfield and lost about a half a yard.
It is. It's back to about the 2-yard line. It's going to be third and goal now from about the 2. So loss of about a half yard there on second and goal. Patriots third and goal now. Morris Cherry back the lone man in the backfield. T.O. Sears, Downer, and Banks split out to the far side. Tight end Stefano to the near side. Here's Kowski under center at quarterback. Take the snap, pitch it out to Cherry, trying to get to the corner. Morris Cherry is into the end zone. Touchdown, Wheeling Park.
They ran a toss play to the right. Cherry went in, but there was a great lead block by Justin Taravisky from Park, number 71, and actually Cherry could have walked in.
Now, Morris Cherry did a lot of the ball carrying on that, but you see how, really, we saw it on that drive, Coach, where the two running backs really do complement each other quite well.
Yeah, they do, and that time, I thought there after they moved Banks into the tailback in the single set on the previous time they ran a sweep that was going to be maybe a key to it, but that time they left Cherry in at the tailback, and he had enough speed to get around the corner.
Nathan DiLorenzo adds the point after touchdown. It's good, and Wheeling Park leads 7-0 here in the first quarter with 3:34 to go on the Bachman-Hess legal team scoreboard here tonight. So Bellaire didn't get the greatest of punts off on their last drive, and Wheeling Park really had a short field to work with. They only had to go about 39 yards, and Coach John Magistro and the rest of the Bellaire coaches know you give Wheeling Park a short field like that, you're going to have a tough time stopping them most of the night.
Well, I'll tell you what, they've been outstanding defensively, getting pressure on Bellaire's quarterbacks, and it just seems right now that they're offensively, they're being successful with the corner, but they're being very, very successful running an inside trap game with Cherry, and that makes it pretty difficult to defend both. And if Kowski gets into the swing of the ball game, and which I'm sure he will because he's an awfully good athlete, that Park is going to have a very diversified offense as the season goes.
Well, they've only had him try 2 passes. The one that he threw was well underthrown to Nick Stefano. The other one probably should have been intercepted when he intended it to Keith Banks. And probably the more you can keep it on the ground and allow him to get into the football game from an emotional standpoint, the better it is for Wheeling Park. Here's Kyle Ackerman putting his foot to it. It'll be taken all the way back inside the 5-yard line. They fake the reverse. Rieger's going to carry it. He's nailed right up at about the 20-yard line, but that's about the best field position that Bellaire's had of the game so far, and they'll start off just at about the 20-yard line. Trailing now, Wheeling Park 7-0.
Jeremy Rieger fielded that ball at about the 5 and brought it up the middle, brought it back to about the 20, 21-yard line. But getting back to Kowski or even Wallner or Liberati, when you got a young quarterback, basic thing you want that quarterback, you don't ask him to win the game for you, you just ask him don't lose it for you.
Here's Matt Wallner back in it. How tough can this be on an offense now? 3 drives and they've had a different quarterback on each drive where they've rotated. Here's the handoff to Rieger as he'll take it up over the 20 to about the 24. Did you ever have a situation when you were coaching like this where you did rotate quarterbacks on series?
No, I never did, because I think my own self personally, I think you may not make the right decision all the time, but you got to make a decision because every quarterback will take a handoff different. Every quarterback will have a different cadence. And to make it consistent with your team, I think you have to stay with one. But that's me.
Wallner's back in. He started the opening drive. Liberati was in on the last drive. Wallner now looking to throw. Pressure, though. A lot of Patriots chasing him to the near side. He's going to throw it, and it is caught. Nice ball to the near side for a good catch that time. Josh Baldwin coming up with a reception up to about the 45-yard line. Going to be a gain of close to 25 yards, and it'll be a first down for the Big Reds.
Well, you know, that's the thing about Johnny Magistro's teams. He's going to put it up, and he's not going to stop putting it up. And eventually his kids are going to get into the rhythm of the game, and you're going to have to defend them.
Tough throw for a right-handed quarterback, rolling to his left that time. Wallner having to get his body set up properly and set his shoulders. Good ball, delivered it right on mark. Here's the handoff in the backfield. That's going to be Rieger getting a short gain over the 45 and up to about the 47 or so. It'll be a short gain of about 2 yards on first down. Second down at about 8. But it's a play like that, too, for Wallner that can get him a little more secure about being in the football game as well.
Yeah, every completion these quarterbacks make, the more confidence they're going to get. And I used to always, as a coach, I used to try to get my quarterbacks in a situation where they were going to throw a safe pass. You know, get as many of those safe ones as you can.
Here's Wallner to throw again. Tipped at the line of scrimmage that time by Jeremy Krupp, number 34.
Ben Doyle was a tight end that time, and they had him covered pretty well. But, you know, if the pass could have been just right there, it would have been a tough completion, but it could have been. But the thing that impresses me is that's going to be very, very difficult is that you got the two corners out there for Park. You got Sears sitting out there, and you got Banks sitting out there, and they have absolutely no help.
Yeah.
The great thing about them, they're good athletes, and they got good quickness.
Here's Wallner rolling to his right now. Patriots with pressure. There's a penalty flag thrown to the defensive backfield. Ball is thrown behind the intended receiver that time and incomplete. Vince Stemkowski was the intended receiver. So maybe we have defensive holding or pass interference called against the Patriots. It was thrown, I think, by the back judge that time.
In the defensive backfield, so I think it was against Park. At least Bellaire players think they do.
Holding against the Patriots is the call.
Defensive holding, that's an automatic first.
Talk it over with offensive captain Ben Doyle for the Big Reds. They'll obviously accept this one. It'll be a first down for the Big Reds on a third down play.
Yeah, that's an automatic first. But it seems right now that Bellaire's getting into the swing of what they're doing. And I think John is coming to the conclusion he's trying to get his quarterbacks out on the corner to get away from that pressure. And it looks like, as you said earlier, it's a tough thing to do, but both Liberati and Wallner both seem to be able to throw the ball pretty well on the run.
Both look like they're very good athletes. Here's the handoff to Rieger, and Park again, not allowing much room up the middle, and then
once again
Lucius will do that on a 46 defense.
You know, once again that was Lucius in there, and I'll tell you he's outstanding. But also those inside linebackers from Park, 34 Krupp and 44 Tomanek, they're sitting there at home, and I'm telling you what, they're stuffing people up in there pretty good.
Another guy that we've called a bunch so far is the Krupp, like you were saying, the middle linebacker. His name's been mentioned a bunch of times. Tip balls, he's been around the football almost every time. Here's Wallner to throw, straight drop, and there's Wheeling Park again, and there is Lucius one more time.
He's got the strength and the quickness to get around Bellaire's center right now, and
he is quick. There's no doubt about that. Jermaine Lucius coming in at 6'1", 195 pounds, and he is just shedding the blocker every time.
You know, Bellaire's got the big kids in there, and it just seems right now that Park's defensive line is just quicker, and they, you know, they're getting around them, and they're keeping their linebackers clean inside. And
that's a big loss for Bellaire too, Coach. Now they're faced with a very third and long, third and about 18 from midfield. Twin wideouts to the top, eye set behind Wallner on third and long. He's just going to throw it up downfield. He's got a man open, and it is caught for first down. Pulled in that time by Josh Baldwin on the far side.
It was an excellent throw. The defense, the coverage wasn't that bad. Covering for Park was well, they got a sub in there now, I think. I think it's 81.
That was Robbie Downer, I think, number 21 on the coverage for Wheeling Park that time. It was 21, Rob Downer.
Yeah, he had him covered pretty good, but the ball was
one of their
laid
linebackers
right in there.
Good throw that time by Matt Wallner. Just put it right where it had to be, and Baldwin was right on it for a first down.
That was 21, and Sears was out of the game, and he was a sub in there. So, they found him right now.
Here's Rieger on the carry. He'll get some good yardage down to about the 20-yard line. That'll be the end of the first quarter. We've played one here at Wheeling Island Stadium. Wheeling Park leading 7-0 after the first quarter, but Bellaire threatening their best drive of the night so far. We'll take a break. You're watching high school football on WTRF 7. To throw on second down, back across the field, and it is. Is it intercepted?
No, he scooped
They're
it.
going to say it's incomplete. Hit the ground. Justin Wood, number 4, coming up trying to make the interception. Liberati trying to throw across his body that time, Coach. And
yeah, well, that's something that's hard to do.
Wallner trying to throw across his body.
But you had a situation there where, as the outside receiver was going inside for Bellaire, they ran into each other and knocked the one off the pattern. So I think he tried to come off and hit the other defensive back.
Now it's going to be third down now and about 6 for Bellaire from the 21. But you're in 2-down territory right now if you're the Big Reds. They're going to send 3 wideouts to the far side. Dustin Barnes, Josh Baldwin, and Jeremy Rieger. Benji Littell, the lone man in the backfield. And Wallner's going to roll to that side. He's got some people open. He finds a receiver. That's Baldwin inside the 10. He'll have a first down. It'll be first and goal for the Big Reds at about the 8-yard line.
They come out in a trips left formation, and Waller sprinted to the trips, and he got pressure, but he come off of the pressure, and Bellaire just run a simple basic flood route, and the man was open. He put it right there. Waller, good play by Waller.
Wallner's looked good on this drive so far for Bellaire, definitely, and he's looked good when they allow him to move the pocket, to roll the pocket one side or the other. He avoids pressure, stands out there well, and doesn't mind the pressure right in his face, still delivers a good football, and that sets up a first and goal now for the Big Reds at about the 8-yard line.
And the thing about him, he's not a big kid. He's only 5'7".
Here's the handoff deep in the backfield to Rieger, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Bellaire.
Rieger came in there, and Bellaire come out in the power eye set and just powered off the tackle, and they got a good double team on the inside. And the 2 backs leading, and they hit Rieger on about the 4-yard line, and he just took them right in.
Here it is, Jeremy Rieger, as you said, with the lead blockers out of that power eye right. Rieger, look at him at the end
right
here, just stretching and
the ball in.
Gets it across the goal line before he's down. Good call by the official. Touchdown, Bellaire.
One thing about the Bellaire kids, you can always remember, they're going to be tough kids. They're going to be tough kids.
Clayton Williams, the kick, it is good.
And, Park's going to come on. Now it's a different football game now.
Yep, tie game now. 7-7 with 11:40 to go here in the second quarter of play. Wheeling Park and Bellaire as Jeremy Rieger goes in from 8 yards out. That was a hard run touchdown that time by Jeremy Rieger to tie things all up here at Wheeling Island Stadium.
Everybody talks about Bellaire being a running or a passing team, but
they've had some good backs over the years, haven't they?
Backs. Even though they're throwing the ball, they're giving you a different kind of a set all the time and multiple
That's the thing. They change their sets around so often. They were in 3 wides just before that. Then they come out and get inside the 10, and they're in a power eye right. I mean, they don't allow a defense to just get into sync.
No, they're not going to do it, and I think that somewhere down the road they're going to make Park pay for it. Well, they've done it a couple times to try to play man coverage. It's tough. It's really tough, and particularly when you got you're in that bear look, and so that means that somebody, a linebacker or defensive back, whatever you want to call him, is up in the line, got to drop off and pick up somebody. It's very difficult.
Benji Littell set to kick off for the Big Reds.
There's John Magistro. He's got to be a little happier now after that touchdown drive by his team. He looked good on that last drive for sure, and not that Liberati's played poorly when he was in there on that drive, but maybe they found a quarterback in Matt Wallner, leading him to that touchdown.
I think that's what they're going to do, and I don't foresee this being alternating, going to be a season-long thing. It may be this whole game, but I think somewhere down the line, John's going to make a decision.
Littell with the kick. Sears at his own 10.
Coming up.
He's got great speed, and he's got a hole. He's at the 30. Gets another block. He's over the 30. 45 fumble, and Bellaire recovers. At the 40-yard line. Ball was knocked back over the Bellaire bench, and the Big Reds jump on top of it. I think it may have been Benji Littell who recovered it for Bellaire.
Benji Littell recovered it, but Redman made a heck of a hit, number 24, and popped the ball
Here it is
loose.
again from the kick, Coach.
It looked like he
Sears had a hold,
in it.
didn't he?
Looked like he'd come up in here and he slows down a little bit right now. See, and then here we come, and he's breaking out. There comes Redman right there. Makes the hit.
And Bellaire just right on top of it. Recovered by, 34, I believe it was Maurice Jeffries who recovered, I believe. Number 34 for Bellaire, not 35. Nonetheless, boy, what a big break. And here is Liberati, Coach, back in at quarterback. Interesting.
They're back in a power set again.
Here's Redman. He's got some speed.
Redman going there to come up in a power I set like again, and then fired it off the tackle with a lead back, two double teams there, and Redman come up through there. Redman was an awfully good back for them last year.
Here's Brock Redman. Well, that was Courtney Redman. This is the younger Redman. This is Brock. Courtney's graduated, and this, I believe, is his younger brother, I believe. He's just a sophomore, if you can believe that, 24. Brock Redman.
Oh, okay.
Here's the handoff inside.
To the fullback.
To the fullback that time on the carry.
In a power I set.
Damon Jeffries that time to carry.
And Jeffries just come up in there and they just run a blast to the fullback over to right guard. And
I think they got a first down, and they do.
They pick the first down up. Maybe he says we'll slow that rush down by run now.
Yeah. Now, right now, the momentum has definitely shifted to the way of the Bellaire Big Reds after the touchdown and the fumble recovery, and now Bellaire driving for what they hope is a go-ahead touchdown here with 10:36 remaining in the second quarter. Staying with that power eye, they'll give it to the top man, Redman again. Wheeling Park on it a little bit better that time. There's a penalty flag, though, thrown on the far side of the field.
Yep, that time they come up and they run a power and they run it up inside, and Mark Peterson from Park, the tackle, who's a 335-pounder, pretty tough to move out of there, and he got a hold of the back, and then the back just stopped right then.
That'll happen if you run into somebody that big. Talking it over with the Patriot captain, Justin Taravisky. So you would have illegal motion against the Big Reds.
It's first and 15, and I think the way John's moving the ball right now, I don't know how much the 5-yard penalty is going to hurt them down in this area, because they're definitely in 4-down territory.
First down and 15.
They've been picking up some good yardage, some good chunks on these last few plays here offensively. They seem to have it in motion now offensively for sure. Here's a eye set now. Single wideouts to each side. They'll give it to the top man in the eye. That's Redman.
I'll tell you, that's Redman, and he picked up 5, and he was tackled by 21, Rob Downer from Park. And I'll tell you what, I've thought there for a while he might have had a hold of the face mask.
Now we'll get back almost the penalty
look
mark
here,
there.
It looks like he got his face mask, but he didn't call anything.
It was close. You're right. He had the hand up there.
Of course,
he got back
always right.
Got back almost all. Yeah, that's the way you coached and played throughout your career, right? Yeah. Got about 4 of the 5 back on that play. It sets up second and about 11 from the 31. I said again, twin wideouts to the far side. Here's the fake, and Wheeling Park with good pressure. That's Nick Stefano getting Liberati all the way back at about the 44-yard line. A huge loss of about 13 yards, and Stefano just flying in there for the sack on Liberati. Nick Stefano, just a junior at 6'5", 200 pounds.
Liberati they ran a bootleg that time, and Stefano come free, and he just made the play, didn't bite on anything. From everything I hear, this kid's supposed to be a future big-time prospect. He's short, tall enough, and they get him in the weight room. He's going to be a big kid.
Got him playing that up end on the corner. Here's Park with good pressure again, and down goes Liberati one more time. He'll lose about 6 more yards all the way back to midfield, and really that entire mid portion of the Patriot defensive line that time just getting good pressure and good penetration. Justin Taravisky, number 71, one of the first Patriots in there.
He came through clean. I don't know whether I'm reading something or not, but it looks like that Liberati is a straight drop back, seems to be, where Wallner.
Well, Littell, a poor punt here, Coach. That's going to get a good. And well, how about the presence of Sears that time to come up and make the catch?
He's totally fearless, and that's what you want back there in a kick returner. First of all, you never want to let the ball hit the ground.
And he didn't that time.
And the thing about it is he doesn't let it hit the ground. He catches and runs with it. But getting back to what I was saying,
Sure.
it seems to me like the Wallner boy is a rollout type quarterback, and the Liberati kid seems to be more of a straight drop back. That might have been just the way they were calling.
Sure. But they did roll the pocket a lot more when Wallner was in there. It did appear that. You're right. Now, a big defensive stop for the Patriots coach after the fumble on the kick return, and they get the ball back right about where they would have had it.
Parks out in the split backfield.
Here's Kowski
Simple
looking to throw it. Oh, boy, that's another one that was out there just waiting for somebody to go the other way with it, trying to get it to Theo Sears.
You know, if he don't get tangled up, he's going all the way from 6 the other way. Kowski boy seems like he's a little bit nervous, and I'm sure that they're going to settle him down. And
they've been doing that, I think, trying to, at least with the running game. But you got to try and keep the defense honest.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
if they know you're going to be out there just running it all night.
But they're real high on.
Park's going to have to take a timeout here. I don't think they had the right personnel in there offensively. We'll go ahead and take a break. 8:10 to go before halftime. Second quarter of action from Wheeling Island Stadium. Bellaire 7, Wheeling Park 7. Back with more in a moment. At Wheeling Island Stadium. There's a look at the Big Reds cheerleaders. They got smiles on their faces, young ladies, cheering on their football team here tonight from Wheeling Island, and so far their team doing quite well. Tie ball game with the Patriots, 7-all. Can't believe it's time for the school year to get back into session all of a sudden. Where does summer go, Coach?
There isn't any summer anymore.
No.
No, but getting back to the game, it looks like there's a pretty nice crowd here tonight.
This goes by too fast.
Oh,
there is. I mean, the Wheeling Park side pretty much filled up over there. Bellaire's brought a very nice crowd, as they always do wherever they go. Here on the visiting side. Here's Park on 2nd and 10. They're going to roll Kowski this time with the Patriots. A couple of Patriot receivers get tangled up downfield, and now Kowski is just going to have to run it. Sears and Stefano literally ran into each other at about the 45-yard line.
But I'll tell you one thing, the outside linebacker, number 34, who is Maurice Jeffries, made the play. He forced Kowski back inside, and number 56, Todd Poe, the defensive end, they come up with a good pressure. But the last 2 times the Parks come out into the huddle, they come out in a split backfield set. And that's the first time it's shown that the 2-back set. Now here they're in it again. They're really in a split formation.
Cherry back
there. Straight drop back.
Looking to throw over the middle. He will. It's caught by Stefano. He has big running room. Stefano breaks the tackle at the 40, 35, and down to about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, they come a straight drop back to Stefkowski. Comes down and just ran a little short hook. And
he just almost set down right there and waited for the ball.
He just come down and hooked into an open area. Kowski put it there, and he made a move to the outside.
Here it is on the replay, Coach.
Made some good yardage out of it and made Kowski look good, but the biggest thing, it made him feel a lot better.
Well, that's the thing. He's got a completion. There's his first completion, really, under his belt. And it's a big one, a first down for the Patriots, all the way down to the Bellaire 33-yard line. Split backs again. Oh, boy.
They run a scissors.
Action there, but look at Morris Cherry breaking tackles. Cherry, one broken tackle away from possibly taking it to the house that time. Brock Redman stopping what could have been a touchdown run from Morris Cherry.
Redman made the play, but I'll tell you what, Cherry didn't have much blocking, but he broke two tackles in the back.
Watch him. He'll run into Brandon Johnston in the backfield, and also then Kowski as well, the quarterback, and then breaking tackles was Morris Cherry.
I'll tell you, Cherry's an impressive back.
Strong runner, hard-nosed, and as I said, doesn't avoid contact at all.
TJ Nye is now in 31. Is that at half?
I've got it as Brandon Johnston on my roster here for the part. Here's Kowski rolling again. He's going to look for Stefano. Boy, nice catch by Nick Stefano. Ball thrown behind him, but he's still able to bring it in.
Complete to Nick Stefano. Forced out of bounds by Dustin Barnes.
The Patriots will gain about 7 yards on that play. Here's Kowski again rolling, pressured.
He got pressured. He handled it well, put the ball out there, and Stefano made the catch.
Stefano's made a couple of nice catches for him.
It was just a little roll out, and they run a simple flood rolled into the flood action, and the tight end, maybe it looks like Bellaire might be playing a little bit of man coverage, and trying to cover Stefano maybe with a linebacker or a safety, and they're just not getting to him.
For Kowski, look out. Littell just all over him.
Blair come with Benji Little, outside linebacker on a blitz, and he come up in there and hit Kowski from the backside.
I don't know if Littell was blocked or not that time. I mean, he was just untouched almost. It seemed like right through the line of scrimmage that time, and you could see it from the snap that Kowski had no chance. There's a look at Benji Littell, big number 35 for the Bellaire Big Reds. Plays fullback on offense.
He's 215 pounds.
Unblocked at all there, Coach.
Yeah,
unblocked.
He's the inside linebacker, and I think what they did, they just ran an X with the tackle and the linebacker, and he came clean.
Now, big third down and about 12 now for the Patriots. Fumbled on the snap, and there is Kowski again.
That time,
Going down.
LaRoche, big Jason LaRoche come through from his defensive end side, and Kowski fumbled the snap a little bit, and he was in on him, but LaRoche came clean.
Now, Park's going to try a field goal. This will be from the far hash, and it'll be about a 42-yarder. Kicking it from the 30, well, move it up to about the 31, yeah.
It'll be a 41-yarder.
And Nathan DiLorenzo, number 1, junior kicker for Wheeling Park. Soccer player, and a soccer-style kicker here for the Patriots. This will be one whale of a kick if he's able to put this through. Just over the 30, high snap. The hold is down. It looked like he got blocked at the kick, and this can be returned now by Bellaire. Great block on the outside. They're going to throw a flag on that. Looks like they're going to call it clip. That was close, so I thought
it was.
I thought he might have had his head around the front.
They called it Benji Little on a clip, and it was awful close. But you know, once again, you know, that was a 41-yard kick. That's a good kick in any place that you get in high school. But I'll tell you what, with the soccer teams today and the things we're having, these kids can kick them.
See if it was touched. It was a high snap. Yeah, and right there, I think Stemkowski got his hands on it, number 16, coming through there. I think he knew he got a little bit of that ball, and it helped take a whole lot off of it.
But I know what
clipping is the call.
What the soccer kickers have done just at Weir High, where I was. You know, they've had two All-State kickers since I don't know what they have now, but last year they had Harpold, and then
that's right.
He was an All-Stater, and then they had the kid the year before, and I just drew a blank. I can't think of his name. He was also a soccer player, and he was an All-Stater too, and that really makes a difference.
Well, Bellaire is backed up deep in their own end. There's no doubt about that. Here's the eye set for the Big Reds on first down.
Big fullback.
And they're going to give it to Jeffries, and boy, luckily for Wheeling Park that time, Justin Wood got the tackle.
Jeffries, a little squat body, 210-pounder, and I tell you, he come up through there pretty good, and he had a chance of breaking that. And I think that number 4 from Park saved a touchdown, or saved a long run, Justin Wood right there.
Jeffries was getting to the outside.
He was getting the outside. I don't know if he had enough speed to break it all the way, but he was going to pick up some yardage.
It's a big play on first down because that gets them out of their own end.
Yeah,
gives them some room to work, too.
It was just a power, a little bust off. Here it comes again. Now they got the tail back. There's
holding.
The flag.
Yeah, looks probably going to be holding in there.
Jeremy Rager.
Jeremy Rager was the carrier on the play that time for Bellaire, but probably going to be holding on the play for the Big Reds. We'll wait on the call, and there it is.
This is a fast running game. There's only 4:20 left in the first half, and it's a 7-0 ball game, and or 7-7 ball game right now.
Now, let's see if we can see anything on this replay or not here. They did call holding, and
well, if there was holding called, but it was on the backside.
Yeah.
You know, the referee made the call, and or no, the umpire made the call, and that's his call. And but he threw it to the backside, so it was probably one of the backside people.
Yeah, that's a big penalty for Bellaire because that puts them right back inside their own 10.
Yeah, it makes it back to
John Magistro's asking some questions about it. I think he's wondering should it be half the distance maybe to the goal instead of they marked it back full 10. Now the Big Reds, though, now are pinned inside the 10-yard line. Officials talking it over. I think that's where it's going to stay. Coach Magistro is going to get his explanation. I think he maybe wanted to know who it was on and what the number of the player was is probably what he was asking. Coaches like to know Who did that, right?
Find out who they're going to yell at halftime.
That's right. Here's a nice set now for the Big Reds. And here is rolling motion again by Wallner, looking to throw it, and it is incomplete. Intended to his receiver up here on the near side, Benji Littell was the intended receiver for the Big Reds.
I'll tell you, Sears was on it. It was pretty close. It could have been pretty close to being an interference call because there's no such thing as an uncatchable ball in high school.
Second and long now for the Big Reds from their own 8-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 18. Clock now under 4 minutes to go here in the opening half. We're all tied at 7. Here's Wallner to throw. Short drop going down the sidelines. Got a man. Caught by Stemkowski. He's at midfield at the 40, 35, 30. He'll be run down at about the 18-yard line. But there you go. There's that man-to-man coverage on the outside. And the Big Reds.
Rob Downer.
Downer luckily to
Downer
pull
was
down.
in for Keith Banks. And, it's a couple times they got him. But, excellent route run and excellent throw.
Stemkowski just in full stride, making the catch. And boy, taking it
Downer
from one end of the field to the other.
That's one big thing you're going to look at.
Now it's 1st and 10 now for the Big Reds inside the 20 at the 19. One man in the backfield. That's Littell. They're going to throw it out to the near side, and boy, Downer all over the play that time.
He got even that time. Yeah. He was sitting there waiting on it. They tried to run a little hitch route out here. And,
Doyle, the receiver, loses about 4 yards on the play, back to the 23. And Downer read that one from the snap. 2nd and 14 now, a loss of 4 on the play for the Big Reds.
I don't know whether Banks is hurt or they're resting him or what, but the last couple series he hasn't been in on defense. Out on the corner right now they have
Clint Faldudo. They're going to throw it up to that corner again. Looking for Stemkowski, and just out of his reach. And I think it was Faldudo that actually did run down Stemkowski the time before.
Or was it?
On the far side of the field. I think it was 81 that had that coverage last time as well. And he's going to come out now is Faldudo. Coming in for him is Justin Friend.
That was my mistake. I saw the one.
Yeah, that's the same thing that I did. Coach, we're being told now that Keith Banks has a shoulder injury. He's actually being worked on one of the tables over there. I think John DeBlaze from Wheeling Hospital, physical therapy, is working on it.
See, now we looked the last time. Now here we go again now. Downer's out there.
So it may have been Downer at time. I know there was a 1, but I don't know what the first number was. Oh, Doyle's wide open. And he makes the catch.
Great catch.
Oh, they're going to.
Great catch.
I thought for a second they were going to rule him out of bounds. And first and goal from the 2.
Doyle, the tight end, come down, and I'll tell you what.
Boy, he was wide open.
He was open, and
here it is again on the replay.
It wasn't a real good pass, but I'll tell you, it was a great catch.
Wallner with the pump fake. He'll come down at what, the 2-yard line where they'll mark him.
About the 1.5, 2 yard. It's on the 2-yard line.
First and goal from the 2 for the Big Reds. Big chance to get another touchdown here before half. 2.5 minutes to go. Here's that power eye again.
That short set again. They're in.
Jeffries, touchdown. And Jeffries.
They're coming in.
Damon Jeffries with a 2-yard touchdown.
Number 61 for Park, Josh Boyd. They just come right up in there and come right through there. And him and the big boy, number 79, Mark Peterson. They just split them and go in for the touch. That was a big fumble, big recovery.
Yep.
They compensated for it, they drove it right down the field.
Clayton Williams.
Here's Clayton Williams on for the extra point try. Kind of a high snap. The kick is up, and it's good. Just like that, Bellaire now leads by a touchdown. 7 points. It's 14-7 with 2:26 to go before halftime here at Wheeling Island Stadium.
I hope Banks is okay. He's an awfully talented young man, and
yeah, it looks from the way I'm looking at it, Coach. I think they got his one shoulder they've got his one arm completely immobilized over there over there.
Oh, I see him setting over. Okay, I didn't see that.
I think they've got him that one arm. Here's a look at Jeffries. Boy, you got to like this kid.
Oh, he's 5'8", 210 pounds. You know, there's not too much to hit at. He gets his shoulders down, and
he's going to hit you. Well, that'll be there is Banks going into the locker room now.
Banks was, of course, who knows?
That'll be a huge loss for the Patriots if they're without him for a long, extended period of time.
You know, he got hurt last year, and give the other kid the back that Park had last year.
Dino Cardinelli.
Cardinelli got his break when Banks got hurt, and he was a heck of a back.
Yep. Unfortunately for Park, Cardinelli graduated, so they were counting on Keith Banks being in there, and now without him, it's going to be Morris Cherry.
I read in the paper, I think this evening.
Now here's the play that helped set up the touchdown, and boy, Wallner's led some successful drives when he's been in there so far. And there was the pass, and then the touchdown run from Jeffries, and
it was a great catch and a great short yardage run.
Great. And now Bellaire leads 14-7 with 2:26 to go, and Wheeling Park down on the scoreboard, and they're down a tailback as well now. So a couple of huge blows to the Patriots. Here's Benji Littell putting his toe to it, and T.O. Sears will take it at the 11. Sears looking for some running room. He's got some. Redman's there again. Oh boy.
There's Redman again.
It looks as if Sears has got space, and then, I mean, it just collapses quickly on him.
I'll tell you, Redman's not a very big kid, but he's awfully quick. And when he makes a move, he's making it. He's going, and that's two big tackles in a row on kickoff teams. And I'll tell you something, they used to call those suicide squads. But I'll tell you what, you don't teach a kid to run down there and kickoff and hit somebody. He's got to want to hit somebody.
Now we're down to 2:20 to go before the half. Patriots trailing for the first time this evening. 14-7. Morris Cherry, the lone man in the back. Patriots with 4 wide, twins on each side. Give the ball to Cherry.
Cherry coming up inside. I would imagine, I'm not sure, but I would imagine that Coach Nardone is going to try to, run the ball out. I don't think he wants to make, have a mistake made and give Bellaire another chance to get the ball before the half. So
I think somebody took a timeout. Bellaire. I think Bellaire would like to get the ball back maybe one more time.
I'm sure they are. Yeah, they're in rhythm right now, and they got a pretty good field position, and
they got things rolling right now. That's for sure. Up 14-7 over the Patriots.
But as I said, if Johnny Magistro, I go back a long way. John was a kid. He played for me at Bellaire, and he was a student of the game then. When we were at St. John's, and he's been 19 years at Bellaire, and he's had, as I said, he's probably record-wise of the 90s. I don't think there's anybody's got a better record than him. But I always said that John could beat you with his kids, and I think he could beat you with your kids.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it.
But he does a good job. And he's had Bruce Stoltz there with him from the time, and they live and die with the Big Reds, and I think it's great. I know John's had many opportunities to leave and quote unquote the bigger and better job supposedly, but he's chosen to stay there, and I think that's a credit not only to him but his team.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean that community just rallies around that football team. They live and die with the Bellaire Big Reds.
Shotgun now, trying to give Kowski some space.
Loose ball.
Oh,
boy, there you had one of those balls.
I'll tell you what,
right up in the air. Stefano, the tight end, got crushed.
Stefano really got stuck.
Yeah, he got hit right from behind. I think Stemkowski's the man, maybe, or was it Littell?
16.
They just lit him up from behind, and
that was Stemkowski that put the leg on him.
He had his arm stretched up to try and bring that ball, and that's a vulnerable position for a receiver. Here it is on the replay.
I think you're talking about the rallying of the town. I don't think there's first the Bellaire situation we know about, and of course I'm a Martins Ferry guy, and those two towns. I mean, in this river, those are football towns.
No doubt about that. That's a big third down play here with 2 minutes to go.
Run a little fake to reverse. They're waiting on him.
Here is Kowski, nowhere to go. He's going to lose
good play again.
4 yards back to about the 25.
That was Stemkowski again.
Yep.
Stemkowski again, and Doyle, the defensive end. They weren't fooled at all. They sat right there. John used his first downs. He's got one left, I think. So
you know what I think happened? I think somebody ran the wrong play in the backfield that time, because I saw Kowski that time after the play, walking up and giving a little pat on the head of Brandon Johnston, number 11. Who's
Well, I
in
saw him come back
now.
in motion. I thought they were faking a reverse, and
It just looked on the replay like I don't think Kowski turned one way and everybody else was the other side. So at least it appeared as if somebody may have run the wrong play. And now Park's going to be faced with a 4th and long here, 4th and about 11 from the 25. And Bellaire's definitely going to have time to do something with it. They got a minute 51 to go before the half.
Or so, and they still have one first down or one timeout.
Yep.
And that's why, as a coach, you always want to try to keep people.
Here it is again. We'll watch it on a replay, see if it just.
I think it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It
looked like he wanted it, or he was either faking it, or he was trying to give it to somebody. Nobody was there, and one or the other. Either way, it didn't work out too well.
No,
Kyle Ackerman into punt now for the Patriots, standing at his own 10. Park hoping for a good snap and a good kick. It's not a good snap. A little low. Ackerman goes down and gets it, but he does get a good punt away. Nice high booming kick. It comes down, and a great stick right there by Wheeling Park's Rob Downer. Right on top of Josh Baldwin that time after he made the catch. No chance for him
but I'll tell
to
you
go
what,
anywhere.
Both of these teams,
Good special teams so far.
They're disdaining the fair catch.
Yeah. You're right about that. Good kick coverage pretty well so far.
Minute 42 left. Blaire's on about their 37, 38-yard line. Now you know what they're going to be doing. They're going to put the ball up in the air and look for all-out routes and everything to the outside to get the clock stopped.
Now that is Faldudo in the single coverage up top. Here's Wallner going near side. He's got a man wide open. It's caught at the 30, 25, 20, 15. Out of bounds on the 15-yard line is Josh Baldwin. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Big Reds from there.
But I'll tell you what, I think that Sears is banged up a little bit too. I really do.
He's gotten hit pretty good a couple of times on those kick returns. He had that one fumble.
As I told you before the game, it's awfully tough out there on the corner, and I knew John was going to tackle.
Well, and Bellaire's gone right at him, and there's just way too much cushion there on each one of those pass
Well,
plays.
see, not only that, he's setting formation at him where these guys can't get any help.
Well, Park doesn't have anybody on one of the wideouts on the outside that time. Here's Redman, touchdown, Bellaire.
Well, that was the one. They come out, and I think they forgot about Redman.
There was one defensive back on the far side, 2 wideouts.
Well, see what they did. They come out in the double slot, and there's nobody there. And I'm sure the quarterback looked up and saw there was nobody there, just threw the ball out there. I'm sure that wasn't probably just there. If you look right here, he looks over, he sees him, ain't nobody there. There ain't nothing. He just up and throws the ball. Then he breaks 2 tackles and gets in.
21-7, Bellaire. Boy. Or no, excuse me, 20-7. The extra point try, no good. Or was it? Never put it on the scoreboard, so. My fault is I was looking down at my scoreboard there when I was writing it down, so never put it on the scoreboard yet, but still. We talked about Bellaire had enough time to do something with it. They did something with it.
There's still a minute 10 left.
Yeah.
I didn't see that either, Scott. Evidently, he must have missed it.
Apparently, it must have been no good. So.
Or no, there's a timeout. They haven't kicked it yet.
Okay. My fault then. Excuse me. That's our first game of the year too. So.
Yeah, I think. But I think that this is the great thing about the Bellaire situation. And it's not taking anything away from Park. Over the years, they've developed this offense, and it just seems like that every year they just plug different people in, and they've been successful.
Now here's the extra point try now. See, when I looked down, they were lining up for it, and I just assumed they went ahead and kicked. Clayton Williams on now to try the extra point, and it is no good.
It was no good. Well, we were right in the
there you go.
I think what happened, I think it was number 61 for Park. Josh Boyd come clean, I think, if they come up through the middle. I thought he might have had a chance of blocking it, but I think it was Josh.
Well, if you're Wheeling Park now, you got a minute 10 left to maybe trying to do something here before the half. He's still got a timeout left. He'd like to get a good return on the kick and then maybe try to work some stuff down the field and try to get some kind of score on the board before halftime.
Well, I think what's going to determine, what to do is
Field
where
position will be the biggest thing here, yeah. There's the touchdown again. A great effort by Redman and a good read by Wallner.
You can see he just looks over, he sees there's nobody there, just up and throws the ball. Then Redman breaks 2 tackles and gets in.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what, for a sophomore, he's not a bad football player. He's not a very big kid. He's what? They list him at 5'9", 175. I don't know whether I want to believe
Might
that.
be a little high.
But, once again, he's an awfully good-looking kid, and he's also a very good defensive tackler on the special teams.
Yeah, he's played well. You have to like him. Damon Jeffries also in the backfield has played well. And
well, I tell you what, I think the Bellaire kids in
super
general,
effort.
Once again, Bellaire's obviously got some skilled people.
Sure.
They're throwing the ball well, and they catch the ball well.
Yep.
That's the big thing. I don't think you're very seldom going to see a Bellaire receiver or back or skill person when the ball should be caught. I think the majority of the time they're going to catch the ball.
Now Bellaire's going to tee it up flat here as Littell, so looks like he might just try to either
He's going to
coach
squib
it or squib kick it.
it.
And Park will have decent field position.
38-yard
right about
line.
the 38-yard line, so with 1:10 still left, they got a chance to try and put the ball up a few times if they elect to do that. Maybe send some people down the field and let Kowski try to throw it. They've got a timeout left as well, so there's some time remaining
here. Each team got one timeout. Once again, are we going to play it safe, or are we going to try to air one out?
It looks like they're going to come out in the shotgun, so 4 wide.
They come out and they've got the tight end Stefano. They got him split out. And there they come down in.
Intended that time for Faldudo. He got caught up a little bit with Redman trying to run his pattern and incomplete.
Bellaire's in a situation now. Bellaire's in a 4-4, and they're dropping 7 men back, sometimes 8. And putting the pressure on 4. It's going to be tough to try to hit one inside on him.
Here's shotgun again for Kowski. 4 wide again. Cherry, the lone man in the backfield. He'll release out to the side. Here's Kowski over the middle, and it is a little too high, intended for T.O. Sears. And it's incomplete. And just like that, Parks run off 2 plays in about 8 seconds. And they haven't anything to show for it.
And that's the thing you got to worry about.
Now you might be forced to have a punt again before the half.
If he runs the ball now, Bellaire's going to take their last time out, and they're going to get the ball back with 50 seconds or so. And
they still have a timeout. They didn't have to use it on that last drive. Here's Park in the shotgun one more time. 4 wide for Kowski. Looking to go downfield, and it's underthrown and nearly intercepted by Brock Redman again. And once again, the clock stops, 56 seconds to go. So Park runs off 3 plays in 14 seconds, doesn't gain a yard. And now they're going to have to give the ball right back over to Bellaire, who still has a timeout remaining.
Well, it looks to me on the long throws, and it's easy to set up here and say what you think they're doing. It looks like Kowski's trying to muscle the ball and muscle it down there, and he's just overthrowing, and he's just not getting the ball where he wants to put it.
Well, luckily for Park, Ackerman's gotten off some good punts. Here's Tim Kowski, and Park's coverage team down there good as well at about the 30-yard line. So Bellaire's going to have to travel about 70 yards in about 47 seconds, but they picked up some big chunks of yards and quick times too on some of these plays.
I would imagine Bellaire's probably got close to 200 yards passing the ball already.
Well, they had the 2 big long pass plays, so.
And they've run the ball
they have.
Well, it looks like now Wallner's the guy they're going with again, so, that's maybe the decision has been made.
Stemkowski's going to split out to the far side. Baldwin and Doyle here to the near side. And 2 men in the backfield for Bellaire. And they're going to run it on the draw play there. Not much happening. We'll see if they elect to take a timeout here or just let the clock run. I think,
it looks like
they're just going to let it run. I think Bellaire you know, if you're John Magistro, you're on the road, you don't mind going to the locker room.
No, anytime. You go up by 2 touches, you're in pretty good shape.
So you don't want to have anything silly happen just before the half. Here's the pass over the middle, and it is caught to Doyle.
Just safe pass. Either he was going to catch it or
I think now they're going to take a timeout. Or, yeah, Bellaire takes their timeout here.
Well, I think Bellaire's probably going to take a shot.
Yeah, throw it down the field, see what happens.
But, you know, in defense of the Jankowski boy, he's under fire. He's under fire to a good football team. He's getting pressured. He's had a little bit of success, and the more success he has personally, the better he's going to be quarterback in this football team.
And it does. I have to agree with you, at least on that last pass that he threw. It looks as if he's almost trying to muscle, like you said, or overthrowing it, trying to put so much on it because I think he's a little worried about underthrowing it and having it picked off.
Well, if you remember the first pass he threw, it looked like he tried to throw a curveball. It broke his wrist, and the ball come on. But that's a common thing with quarterbacks, and particularly young quarterbacks. They can practice all day long and just lay that ball out there. It's going to go down 30, 40, 50 yards. When they get in this situation, they want to try to muscle it, and you know, nothing good happens then.
Game action is a little different than throwing against your own defense. So here's Wallner. They're going to take a shot.
Look.
Over the middle, they got Doyle open. Oh, they had a man up top. Baldwin was open.
Baldwin, if he got, I don't think he saw him, but
I
if
don't think so
Baldwin
either.
would have seen it, you know, he was gone.
Now Bellaire's going to have to
punt it. Park's going to get the ball back with.
If you're Wheeling Park, do you just try to bring everybody here?
Well, I know one thing. If I was coaching,
now they're going to drop a couple back.
You know, once again, Bellaire's a man short. Okay, they got him in there now.
And 13 seconds left. Yep. Oh, high snap. This could be a big play for the Patriots. Littell's going to try and get back there. Now he's just going to run it, and Park's going to have great field position at the 11-yard line with 9 seconds to go and a timeout. Oh boy, big play. See, that's where you hurt yourself, taking that timeout on a 3rd and short and throwing it long. You left yourself in a situation where you had to punt.
Right, they had to punt the ball, and I think that where the ball was, I think I might have just ran a play.
Yeah, run it and get in the locker room.
No, I mean even when it was 4th down.
Yeah, right there.
You know, they got to drive the ball 40 yards.
Because at least they've got it about the 40. Right now they got it first. I see what you're saying. First down at about the 12. I think you're right. Littell did a good job just to go back and get it there, and then
neither team's got any timeout, so you got one play left.
I think Park just took theirs, I believe.
Yeah,
Bellaire I think they had one left, so that's it. So if you're Park, you got 9. You might have 2 cracks.
Well,
maybe
you got to go to the end zone.
Well, you got to go to the end zone, but you might have a chance at 2 plays, depending on how quickly you get this one off.
Now, then you come down to the thing. If you're Bellaire, do you want to go after him, or do you want to play pass?
You lay back to. Yeah,
that's the thing.
Either you go after the quarterback or you hang back in the end zone or around the goal line.
You know, here we come on. I'm sure Park's going to come out in a single back, maybe no backs.
Yeah.
They're going to spread them out.
See if they're in the shotgun or under center. I would guess, hate to guess, but I would guess maybe shotgun to give him more time. Well, this could be a huge play here because this could put Park right back in the football game at halftime.
Yes, it could.
Patriots are going to come out in the gun. They'll have one man back here to block, or he could just be. We've seen Cherry go out into a pass pattern. He's released a lot of times from this as well.
There he goes. He runs the check down.
Throwing it, intended, it looked like, for Johnston, I think, number 31, or Faldudo. Luckily, only 5 seconds run off, and you know what Park's going to do? They're going to bring the kicking team out. They're going to say, let's get some points.
But I'm going to tell you something. That you called it before the play. They snapped the ball, and
Cherry released.
Cherry run a check down and out in the flat, and he was wide open.
And what you have too with young quarterbacks, a lot of times they look at that first
man.
Absolutely. They don't look around. They don't look off.
Even the experienced quarterbacks don't look at the check down man.
Well, here's DiLorenzo to try a field goal. The kick is up, and it will be good for Wheeling Park. Nathan DiLorenzo with a 30-yard field goal to close the half. So if you're Wheeling Park, you get some points on the board, and you make it a 10-point contest at halftime. So we've reached halftime here at Wheeling Island Stadium with Bellaire leading the Patriots. It's 20-10 as the Big Reds go into their locker room here on the east side of the stadium.
Well, you got a lot of That was a pretty good half of football. A lot of offense and
a lot of action in that second quarter.
You know, I hope that Banks isn't injured seriously. They took him in there. I saw John DeBlaze come running across the field. I didn't. So maybe they took. I didn't see any of the ambulances go.
Yeah. They took Banks in the locker room when they did. He had his arm pretty much
he
was tied to his body. Yeah, it was immobilized for sure. So that would be a huge bust for Wheeling Park if they lose him for not only this entire game, but the only good thing if you're Park is after you play tonight, you got a week off.
Absolutely.
Before you have to play Steubenville again.
And I'll tell you, that field goal is important.
That's a big play for the Patriots to get them back in this game just down 10 now. So it's 20-10 here at halftime as we get ready to take a look at the bands here at halftime. Wheeling Park setting up for their halftime show here from the stadium. We're going to go ahead and take a break. Scott Oldie, Dan McGrew here on the Game of the Week from Wheeling Island Stadium. Your halftime score, Bellaire 20, Wheeling Park 10. We're back with more in a moment on WTRF. And we're back once again here at Wheeling Island Stadium. Halftime, Bellaire leading Wheeling Park 20-10. Both bands, Bellaire and Wheeling Park, joining forces to play here. Let's go down to the field and take a listen. We're back at Wheeling Island Stadium, just about ready for the second half kickoff, and we'll see how big that field goal was just before halftime, Coach, because Park's going to get the ball to start the second half. So they could go real quick from cutting this from being a 13-point game right down to about a 3-point game if they'd be able to work this drive into a touchdown. One injury note for you as well. We heard from the Park coaching staff that Keith Banks has been taken to the hospital to have his shoulder evaluated, and doesn't look like he'll be returning at all tonight for the Patriots. Here's the ball that's going to come down. Robbie Downer's going to take it, and Downer's got some room along the far side, looking to turn it back up the middle. Downer open space at the 40, up to about the 45-yard line, and a nice return that time by Robbie Downer at Wheeling Park. Will have excellent field position to start out this second half, trailing the Bellaire Big Reds 20-10 here at the beginning of the third quarter, and we have an injured Bellaire player down on the field.
Stemkowski's down. Looks like he's got a cramp.
It's a wonder we haven't seen more of those, because that's almost the thing to have, if you will, in the openers. It seems, especially when it's just warm.
And the ground's soft and everything. But as I said on that one, Downer set that up well. He started it up the left side, then broke it in the middle. And Park had a nice hole there. Downer looks like he has awfully good speed.
And he's made some good plays defensively for them tackle-wise, running people down. He showed good speed there and showed excellent speed on the return, too. Took it from the near sideline, ran it across field, and then turned it back up the middle and got it all the way up to about the 45-yard line. So Wheeling Park, now, Coach, really a chance, Dan, to really work themselves right back into this football game. As I was saying, if they could put some kind of score on the board here on this drive.
Well, I think what they need to do is I think they need to get back into the running situation with Cherry. Now, it looks like they moved Cherry to tailback. And
Cody Tominak, I think, is now going to be in at fullback number 44. And here's Morris Cherry.
That's what they're doing. They're going in there, and they got a lot of time. They're only down 10.
Oh, yeah.
Get into a power set or get the ball in Cherry's hands and drive it down there, and don't expect really an awfully lot out of Kowski. Not that he's not capable of doing it. I'm not saying that, but I think the kid's got to get some confidence and
that's right.
Go from there.
There's Stemkowski having his looks like his left calf massaged there, and as you said, probably just a cramp, no doubt. Teal Sear split out to the far side here. I set behind Kowski on 2nd and about 4 for Wheeling Park. And look at Morris Cherry there. Wow, just moving the pack ahead, Coach, and over the 45, excuse me, down to about the 44. And looks like he's going to have a Wheeling Park first down. I tell you what, you could do a lot worse than just hand the ball off to Morris Cherry every play and let him go at it.
Yeah, well, they've come out in a basic eye set, and they got Tominak at fullback, and he's a stocky 180-pounder laden up in there, and they're giving the ball to Cherry, and he's just going up in there, and he's a strong back, a strong-legged kid, and he looks like he's got decent speed.
And the thing is they teach the kids, and they work on this so much in summer drills, keep the legs pumping, keep the legs pumping. Cherry did on that, and as Tominak takes it on a fullback keeper, Cherry did on that last drive, and it was the reason he was able to get those extra yards, because Bellaire was trying to kind of arm tackle him around the midsection, and Cherry just had the legs drive, and he was able to pick up extra yardage.
Well, that time they come up and they tried to run a little fullback trap in there, but Matt Duvall and Jason LaRoche, two big inside tackles for Bellaire, just shut it down, and to no gain. Now I look for another lead to Cherry.
I said again, single wideouts to each side. Stefano, the tight end, line up to the top.
Runs the pitch.
Here's Cherry looking for some open space. Just tripped up a little bit. Good play defensively.
That was
I think that was Poe again,
Bellaire,
wasn't
Todd
it?
Poe.
Yep.
He's playing an awfully good football
Excellent game.
Because I'll tell you what, if he doesn't get a hand on him, Cherry might go away.
Cherry was making a cut back toward the mid portion of the field. He found some open room, and Poe just kind of stuck that arm up there and tripped up his legs a little bit. You'll see right there, because Cherry was getting ready to get behind that block of Lucius and cut it right back up inside.
Yeah, Cherry's limping a little bit. They come out in a split back set now.
Split him to the other side. Here's 3rd and about 7 from the 41. Here comes pressure, and whoa, look out for Kowski. Benji Littell all over him again.
Bellaire come up that time, and they ran just a little stunt, and Benji came up clean.
Well, that's the second time we've seen that.
You watch the stunt right there. He just nobody touched him.
Who's at the guard? Lucius trying to pull over. He had no chance to get there.
Well, Park's had an awful lot of success running the trap, and so they just ran the stunt, and they beat the cutoff man.
Big job defensively for the Big Reds to stop that Park drive. I tell you what, Park's got a good punter, that's for sure. And once again, Kyle Ackerman doing a nice kick, and Park's coverage team down there as well. And there's a penalty flag. May we have a face mask penalty, or
I don't know, but it was an awfully good tackle by Stefano. He had good coverage on it.
Park's had good coverage, and so has Bellaire. Really, both on their punt coverage tonight has been excellent from a
I'll tell you one
team
thing about the
standpoint.
Park punter. He looks like he's a 2.5, 3-step punter, and I look for somewhere along the line. Bellaire's going to go after one.
Yeah.
You know, if they had a replay, you could see he's a 2 or 3-step punter, and you know they go after him. They're going to get it.
Now there was a face mask penalty against Wheeling Park.
Inadvertent 5 yards.
Yeah, just a 5-yarder, and so it'll move the ball up just shy of the 20 at about the 19-yard line. Trying to get it. Is that Benji Littell they're working on the sidelines there? Couldn't tell if that it looked like something in a 5, but couldn't tell if it was a 3-5 or not. Here's Wallner rolling, pressure from the backside, and he's going to be sacked and dropped for a big loss.
Stefano again. I tell you, he's an excellent football player. They tried to roll away from him, and he's got excellent speed, and he'd run it down.
Nick Stefano that time coming off his defensive end position, 6'5", 210 pounds. Excellent speed. As you said, Park, though, with an injury here on the near sideline. Maybe this another cramp for Wheeling Park, and yeah, that's what you see the player grabbing his calf. But that's an excellent play there by Nick Stefano. I don't know if we can look at that on the replay or not, but Stefano almost just in a full sprint that time.
Stefano, I've been mispronouncing his name as Stefano, but Stefano is an excellent football player.
Boy, that'd be a big loss for Park if that's nothing more than
I don't know whether he's
cramp.
got a knee or he's just got a cramp, but I'll tell you, they don't want to lose him. But I'll tell you what, in the last quarter, Bellaire seemed to handle him. He come off clean. I think he just got a cramp right there. He went down.
Just a full sprint that time by Stefano, and you see look right into the mask of Jermaine Lucius. Jeff Haybeck doing an excellent job tonight for WTRF on the sidelines. Working it all by himself tonight up and down the sideline. He's getting a good workout in. He's a kid that works hard. A little pat on the back for some of our people here. Jeff Haybeck, who's working the sidelines for us tonight. He'll be working the Steelers-Lions game tomorrow for Detroit television people, and then he also works a lot of Pirate games as well for Fox Sports Pittsburgh. So we've got some good ones here on our crew as well here at WTRF. And one of those guys, me and Jeff Haybeck, right down there on the sideline now, right in the face mask of Jermaine Lucius, and that's good for Patriot fans and for Coach Mark Nardoni. You know, he's breathing a little sigh of relief watching Lucius up and running off the field there.
Yeah,
you don't want to lose that guy.
You got a second down of 21, so
yeah, it was a big play by Stefano to really kind of back up the Big Reds inside their own end all the way to the 8.
He ran him down from the backside on a rollout, and I don't know whether somebody missed assignment or they just left him clean and figured we could be. They're laying it up there again.
There's that layup ball again, and it's going to be incomplete. Oh,
that was a good defense by Baldudo.
Yep.
But the receiver for Bellaire, Josh Baldwin, turned into a defensive back and saved an interception.
You know, on a lot of those plays to that top side, and not every one of them, but for the majority of them, Parks had pretty good defensive coverage. And
well, that ball was a little bit underthrown.
And Baldudo made a good play on it. But
normally
as you said,
just overthrow.
Yep. As you said, though, good job on the other end there by Bellaire to keep it from being an interception as well. All right, now you're faced with a 3rd and 21 here. You try to do something safe and punt, or do you go for it again up top?
They're in a power set, fumbled the ball.
Loose ball on the field, and recovered, I think, by Bellaire. Yeah, it was.
I'll tell you, after that last punt, I don't think John wants to have to punt. You know, the ball went over.
Well, and he's going to be punting to the back of his own end zone here. You get a high snap here, you're looking at a safety.
Believe me, there's no worse feeling in the world than for a center to throw one over the kicker's head. And believe me, I know.
How many times? Did you do it once or twice? Once,
I
and then you
never
never did it again?
Too many times, but
yeah, because you're not in there if you do it too many times, right? There's a good snap. Littell gets off a pretty good punt. Here's T.O. Sears will take it at the 40. Sears getting a block. He's got some running room on the near sideline. Wheeling Park's going to have excellent field position.
Yeah, they're on a 31,
at about the
31
yard line.
But I'll tell you what, it's impressive. Both of these teams have great coverage.
Yeah, they really do. Well, if you're Wheeling Park, you'd really like to oh, is that Littell? Yeah, I think we're starting to see these guys get some cramps.
Yeah, that's Benji Littell. I don't know whether he's getting cramps in both legs.
That's another kid Bellaire can't be losing either. He's in on everything. Offense, defense, special teams.
He does all the kicking.
Yep. Does all the kicking but place kicking.
Well, he's a kickoff man too.
Yeah, kicks off and punts. And then Clayton Williams is the man who handles the extra points. Coach, this is something where if you're Wheeling Park, you really want to turn this into some points because you're looking at about 7:48 to go here in the third quarter. You're down 10. You'd really like to cut it a little closer if you could. And you want to start taking advantage of some of this field position because who knows, fourth quarter the field position might shift the other way, and when you got an opportunity, you got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had the advantage of the field position this whole half. I think that inadvertently, they, for whatever reason, they made a decision at halftime that they were going to try to run the ball, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
But you know, they can't put themselves in a position that to throw when they have to, because with Bellaire's offense, you know, they can strike any time, any place.
Just going up top. Well, this is. He's got some severe cramping down there because he's been on that field for a while, and the training staff have been working on him. As you said, he's got him in both the left and the right calf there, and they're really massaging those to try and loosen that up. That's, you know, it's not a serious thing, but boy, if you've ever cramped up, boy, you can't do anything. You pretty much are just knocked to the ground, and that's about it.
Number 37, Darren Michael, has replaced Littell at inside linebacker, and that's a pretty important position to be on any defense, but particularly in a 4-4, and that's what Bellaire's running.
Well, we've seen Littell just come off.
He's had
from that linebacker
big plays.
Yeah, they're still working on Benji Littell down in the end zone here at the south end of the stadium. And definitely some severe cramping on his part, no doubt. 20-10's our score. Wheeling Park trailing the Bellaire Big Reds. Fans here enjoying themselves. I think a lot of people happy to see football season back yet once again. Boy, it's early though.
In my opinion, it's too early, and we were talking before the game, and I think it's brought about because of the playoffs, and now Ohio's added another week into their playoffs, and you know, you have the overlap, and here you know you've got some schools, some teams are going to be playing 2 games before they were in school.
Yeah.
And
well, yeah, it'll be week for a lot of teams. It'll be week 3 of the season before September even hits.
Right.
So, I mean, that's early.
And
here comes Benji Littell up.
Yeah, he's coming off.
He's a little slowed, but get some fluids in him, and I think they were already working on him earlier here on the sidelines. I think he was having some cramping then, and they had to send him out there to punt, and it just locked up on him. He's got some severe cramping going on. There's no doubt about that, and they'll probably try to get some fluids in him and continue to massage those calves and let him get his legs elevated. But Wheeling Park, excellent field position. They need to take advantage of it. Here's Morris Cherry. Going to just hit it right up through the hole there on the right side, and Morris will bust it over the 30.
He picked up 3 or 4 yards, and there wasn't much there.
Did a lot on his own.
He's coming there. He's limping a little bit too, but I tell you, he's like Jimmy Brown.
I think he's
limp and get up, and
that's the thing. You see so many of those power backs, they almost do that. They just kind of have a limp in their step almost, and you think, oh, maybe we got him here. And then you're a linebacker on the other side, and he just runs right over top you. And then you realize he still got it. Here's an ice hit again for the Park.
Bring a little motion.
Stefano back in the near side in motion. Here's the pitch. Looking for a block. He's got the corner. 25-20. Bowls over a couple of defenders.
Well,
down to about the 17. Well, you get him on the corner.
The kid that Darren Michael come out, and he's the one that replaced Littell, and he comes scraping over. You watch him. He's in good shape, but he gets picked off right here.
Yep, got picked by his own man.
He can't get there.
Good blocking on the corner by the Park, and he got picked by his own player.
They brought
Stefano in motion.
In motion, and went from a strong to a weak set, or from and he got the hook block.
Stefano lined up. He's going to go motion other side now. We'll see if they run that way. They're going to give it to the fullback right up the middle.
Run the veer trap.
Tominac will get it over the 15 and down to about the 14-yard line. It's going to be a gain of close to about 4. And it'll be second down at about 6 now for Wheeling Park. Clock turning down to 6:45 to go here in the third quarter. Bellaire leading 20-10. Patriots, though, threatening to make it a 3 or 4 point ball game. Looking down, Littell is up, walking around now, taking some water. trying to walk those cramps out, so Bellaire fans may see him back out on the field here soon.
The problem is, it seems like if you cramp up good once, you're going to keep doing it. They're coming out there, and I'm going to tell you what.
Morris Cherry cuts it back up inside. It's going to be about 2 yards shy of a first down. It's going to be 3rd and about 2.
Stemkowski is playing that outside linebacker, and he's not a very big kid, but I'll tell you what, he sticks his head in there, and he's containing that outside pretty darn good.
There's Morris Cherry.
Of course, he got Poe over at the defensive end, so he's helped. That Poe's a pretty good football player.
He knows he's got some help there, and there's a look at Morris Cherry. It's a big down for Wheeling Park. It's 3rd and a very long 2, close to about 3. I set for the Park again. Stefano in motion back to the near side. They're going to pitch it out to Cherry. Morris breaks 1 tackle, and Morris Cherry, look at him spin.
I think he picked
and
it
I
first.
think by spinning forward,
pretty close.
He's going to be very close to the first down. And
depending upon the mark, Bellaire had it.
And he stopped, I thought.
I don't think they moved it back.
He's going to be about a half a yard short.
So 4th down, big play right here for Park. I don't think there's going to be any question. They're going to run a lead up in there with that,
probably with Cherry,
with the fullback lead, and Cherry running up in there.
Now big play both sides of the ball here. Nice set. Kowski's just going to keep it, and he'll have the first down. Big play, boy. Good surge by that Wheeling Park offensive line.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing about being in a 40 front. You know, you don't have anybody over the center, and if you can just get a little seam, get your head in there, it's pretty tough to stop unless you're sliding or slanting down into it.
Now you're in that territory where you can just kind of let Cherry eat away at a little bit if you want.
I think he's just going to pound.
You're at the 8-yard line on a 1st and goal. There's Stefano in motion again. They're going to give it to the fullback right up the middle. Tomanek, touchdown, Wheeling Park.
Run a little veer up in there. And then clean. Nobody touched him.
That's a big touchdown. Wheeling Park right back in this football game. It's 20-16 as we await the extra point with 4:46 to go. Now, you know, Bellaire's been watching for that fake to the fullback pitch out sweep so long. They just kind of caught him a little bit with that. Stefano's kick is up, and it's good. And it's now 20-17.
That's the old buck sweep. They ran it out of the eye and they give it to the buck.
Yeah, Park takes advantage of that field position. They had it on the 31, and they put it in from there.
Well, I think it hurt. You know, they lose
Littell,
and I'll tell you what, he's an awfully good person that you don't want to have him out of the ball. If you look right here, they come up in and run that little trap to the fullback, and the left guard for Park just did an excellent job. Lucius come over and trapped him and just did a heck of a job.
Yeah, it's a brand new ball game now. Park scored the last 10 points after being down 20-7. They got a field goal just before the half. And then now this touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, the first score of the 2nd half.
Well, I think, Scott, maybe they listened to you when you said they better take advantage of the field position. And,
they did.
They did and took it down in because, you know, this thing's not going to... thing that probably worrying Bellaire right now a little bit is hot and warm, and you know, Bellaire got a lot of big kids, and you know, they start cramping up, and this heat gets to them. You know, I'm sure they're worried a little bit about that.
Yeah, Wheeling Park set to put it back into play, right back in the ball game now. Bellaire, those got the horses. There's no doubt about that. We saw some excellent plays in the first half out of Redman and Damon Jeffries and several other players. Here's Ackerman. Boy, this kid's got a good foot.
Yes, he does.
Kicks it deep. Barnes is going to take it at his own 5. Breaks 1 tackle, then he's hit hard right at the 20-yard line.
Excellent coverage. Coming down that time for Park was number 24, Trey Martin. And he came down in there and put a good lick on.
I don't know if we can look at that again, but that was a hard hit on Dustin Barnes. Here it is again, right from the kick.
It's Trey Martin coming down for Park, and he puts a heck of a lick on this kid.
Broke the first tackle, but then right there.
Him and Tomanek.
Good hit for Wheeling Park, and Bellaire will start out on their own 20, so decent field position for the Big Reds to start this drive. Wallner at quarterback. Split backs behind him. He's going to look to give it to the first man through, and it'll be a gain up over the 25. Damon Jeffries, the carrier. up to about the 27-yard line. It's going to be a gain of close to about 6 or 7 on first down.
I bet that center from Bellaire's wondering, you lose Jermaine Lucius, who's probably the quickest lineman Park got, and he's out of the ball game. He plays over the nose, and they put in Mark Peterson, who weighs 335 pounds, and I'm sure he doesn't have the same quickness, but this kid's had every angle he could look at tonight.
Hard to move, though, that's for sure. And right there, Peterson helping cause that problem. He drove the center back into the play that time.
Ball carrier
Jeffries nowhere to run that time. Wallner was almost getting nailed in the back when he was handing the ball off to Jeffries that time. And Peterson helping make the play that time. He got the penetration, allowed the rest of the defense just to follow him. And you'll see it here. Watch right over the center.
Yeah, I know. He just drove him backwards. And I'll tell you what, the center from Bellaire is not that small of a kid.
Now, when you're 6'1", 335, you're going to have a little leverage.
Yeah, you got a little advantage.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to try and block him, that's for sure. I wouldn't move him. Big third down play here. 3rd and about 4 from the 26. Here's motion and delay a game. Bellaire doesn't get the play off. The play clock ran out. So that's going to be a 5-yard loss. It's going to go back to about the 21-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and about 9.
Well, I'll tell you something. That was pretty quick, 25
Sure
seconds.
was. Thing is here that they have the clock, so as a quarterback, it's something you got to be aware of. You got to. They're in each end, they're in each corner, and they're easy to see here. They're rated eye level if you're on the field.
See, he got 21 seconds, and he's got
still in the huddle. Yeah.
He's got plenty of time.
Yeah. They'll get to the line at about 10. So 3rd and 9. Here's Wallner, pressured, rolling. Parks man falls down. Wallner's going to keep it. He's out of bounds.
I don't think he made
at the 20. He's going to be well short because he needed to get up to about the 30, and he's out at about the 23. He ran a long way because he'd rolled so far out.
Well, he got pressured.
Yeah. Who was that? Number 61 for Wheeling Park, Josh Boyd.
Boyd and Taravisky both,
Boyd
61 and 71. And, you know, they put the pressure on him. Didn't have any place to go. And
now Park's defense coming up big the last couple of series.
Yeah.
Patriots
and the big thing is they're doing without Lucius.
Yeah. Drop ball on the snap, but Littell gets away a pretty good punt. Downer's going to take it and tries to break one tackler. Boy, you know, maybe these kids didn't learn the fair catch. I don't
know, but I'll tell you what,
they're shying away from it. Yeah, you're very impressive.
And I'll tell you what, Bellaire's got it covered.
Yeah, this has been some of the better punt returns I've seen, not from a standpoint of run backs, but just of willingness to go up there and catch the football.
And covering the ball.
So many times you see young players shy away from it and step back.
See,
these kids run up underneath it and catch it.
Coach, all you do is tell kids, don't let the ball hit the ground. If you're ever in doubt, fair catch.
That's right. Well, Park starting in Bellaire territory again on the 48. 1st and 10. Park down by 3. Here's Morris Cherry getting outside. Cherry at the 40, 35-30, down to the 25. Gain of 23 yards.
They run a tailback, used to old Washington Redskin counter tray, and I tell you, they come around there and they had a tackle and a guard both coming. And
boy, he doesn't have a limp now. Just seems sprint step back to the huddle that time.
He had that varsity limp before.
Watch him. Once he gets to the corner, Cherry, for as much power as he has, he also has pretty good speed.
Yeah, he does.
And the one thing he does that you see a lot of the big, tough tailbacks do, he delivers a blow.
Absolutely.
When he gets
off. It's called finishing off the run.
Here's Stefano in motion. Park looking to keep things going. Here's Tominac. Tominac at the 10. Down to about the 8-yard line.
Tominac's becoming a viable fullback.
Maybe Park finding their backfield here, Coach, with Tominac and Cherry.
Tominac's a 10th grader, 180 pounds. Pretty good looking 10th grader.
I'm sure Coach Nardoni wants to get Keith Banks back in the lineup as soon as possible, but here we go again, another situation where an injury is allowing a youngster to play. Cody Tominac taking advantage of that.
And unfortunately, that injured player is the same one as a year ago.
Here's Park, 1st and goal from the 8. Stefano in motion. They'll pitch it to Cherry. Gets away from one man. Cherry trying to get to the corner. 5. Touchdown, Wheeling Park. Morris Cherry goes in from 8 yards out, and Wheeling Park jumps back in front. They lead 23-20.
I think maybe it looks like to me, it looks like the Bellaire team's a little bit tired right now.
Boy, Cherry he made one man miss, and he got a block on the corner as well, and from there, as you said, he was gone.
Here
it is again.
Gets blocked by Tominac.
And then he made another man miss by going wide. DiLorenzo's kick is up, and it is good. And just like that, Wheeling Park, after being down 20-7 late in the second quarter, now leads 24-20 with 2:01 to go in the third quarter. The momentum has definitely shifted to Wheeling Park, and they're playing the ball game in Bellaire's end. Bellaire, this whole third quarter, pretty much has been pinned back. Park started that drive on the 48. They started the drive before on the 31. Patriots taking advantage of that field position. And I tell you what, Morris Cherry looking good too.
Like I said, you know, the big kids from Bellaire look like they're starting to suck air a little bit.
Patriots now leading as we take a look at the Bachman-Hess Legal Team scoreboard. 24-20 in favor of the Patriots. Excellent football game so far tonight. Great one to start the season off with. We expected nonetheless here between these two football teams.
Well, I'll tell you
coming off of playoff years from a season ago.
One thing, Scott, the punter from Park has done an excellent job in the second half.
And he's also the man kicking off, Kyle Ackerman, number 29.
But
he's just a sophomore as well, and boy, he's having a whale of a ball game.
But the punting part, he's keeping Bellaire. He's controlling the field position.
Well, and it's so much a part of the game that a lot of people don't recognize a lot of time. I mean, when you're pinned inside your own 20, I mean, that's difficult because every time when you're punting, you're only sending it back to about midfield.
As a coach, you know, you try to impress upon kids that, you know, the game is
There's
football.
Another excellent kick.
At 25% of the plays,
fake the reverse. Here's Rieger trying to get, oh, he got a great block on the outside, and he's going to turn it upfield. Boy, that time Brett Clow was just absolutely wiped out.
Down, he caught him blind side of it.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I was saying, 25% of the plays in a football game are kicking.
Yeah.
And
here's the kick again. And again,
that's why
Ackerman driving it all the way back to the 5.
That's why you got guys in the pros.
There's the block right there. Woo. Well, that was a good hit.
Number 15 for Park, Brent Clough.
Well, that was
he got hit pretty good.
Got his claw clean that time. There's a look at Jeremy Rieger. Here's Bellaire, power I set. They're going to give it to Redman. He'll get some yardage up over the 25 to about the 27. It's going to be a gain of about 3.
Josh Boyd and Tominac.
Well, and you know, Park now starting to get a little that swagger back a little bit. They're getting, you know, they're up now. They're up 4.
I'll tell you what, Tominac for a sophomore, he's playing both sides of the ball right now.
No, you're not. And he's playing
it awfully well. I see Lucius is back in there, and
you know, the thing
Peterson's back over to tackle. So
the thing that Park's doing right now offensively, they're not asking Kowski to win the football game. Here's a nice set for Bellaire. Wallner looking to throw it, got a man open, and there is the pass caught, but then stripped and taken away by T.O. Sears. Wait a minute, I think it's going to be Park's ball. What a play by T.O. Sears.
Stole the ball off.
Josh Baldwin was wide open, made the catch, was going down. As he was going down, Sears stripped it away from him. The Bellaire coaches thought that Baldwin was already down on a knee. The official comes in and says, no, it's a strip. Park ball the other way. Wow. See if we have that again.
Well, I think that the official missed the call here.
Let's look
the
and see if
wingman
Baldwin
missed
is
the call. Because I'll tell you what, right now, that was a good steal. He
brought the ball out before he was down. That's an excellent play. Sears was stripping the ball as Baldwin was trying to spin away. Here's Tominac in motion. Toss to Cherry, trying to get him to the corner. And there's Benji Littell. He's back in the ball game and in a big way, running down Cherry from behind. But boy, what a big play by T.O. Sears, because that was looking like it was going to be a big play offensively for Bellaire. Baldwin, one-on-one coverage again, makes the catch, gets the steal, but Sears steals it away from him.
Here's the play again.
Here it is again. You'll see, watch, Baldwin will make the catch, and watch Sears go right after the ball. He's knocked down, and he strips it out before he ever had his knee down. Here's Stefano in motion, back to the near side. Going to give it to Cherry. Morris Cherry with running room, and he's run down. Boy, nice open field tackle that time for Bellaire on the far side. That's Wallner, the quarterback. Taking down Cherry, just grabbing him by the shoulder pads and kind of whipping him down to the field. But still, Morris picks up about 6 yards or so, and it's going to be third and about 3 here for Wheeling Park.
22 seconds. Go to third quarter.
Al Park has definitely swung this game the other way in this third quarter. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, the momentum's over on Park's side right now, but with a quarter to go, you got a lot of time.
Oh, no doubt. There's a whole lot of ball game left. Oh, and there is Littell just all. Look at Tominek keep his feet, and Tominek's going to have a first down. Wow!
I'm going to tell you, it's an outstanding run right there. That's an outstanding play by a sophomore.
Littell had him wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Wrapped up. And Tominek just spun away. And not only did he get enough yardage for the first down, he gained about 6 yards on that carry. Watch this play. Just stuck right there. And look at him spin, break a foot tackle there, and then run over a couple of people as well.
He just ran over number 58.
You're looking at a 5'10".
Jason LaRoche from Bellaire, and I'll tell you what,
he's no small player.
230 pounds.
And Tominek's listed at 5'10", 180 as a sophomore. Well, this is a different scene than what we saw at halftime. Wheeling Park leading 24-20 as we head to the fourth quarter. Let's take a break. You're watching high school football on WTRF-7. We're back for the start of the fourth quarter here from the stadium. 24-20, Wheeling Park. I said they're going to give it to Morris Cherry. Cherry trying to get outside. He's got some blockers, turning it upfield. Morris keeping his feet. He's at the 20 and out of bounds. Looks like he's going to have a first down.
He's down. I don't know whether he's hurt or winded or cramped.
Did the ball go out of bounds? Did he lose
he
the ball out of bounds?
fumbled the ball and out of bounds.
Yeah.
But that was an excellent play. That was that counter tray again, the old Washington Redskins counter tray. I'm going to tell you something. Cherry's an awfully good back.
The thing he does too,
he delivers.
He follows his blockers.
Yeah.
He doesn't try to outrun him. He just stays right on almost
he's
on the hip.
He's a good-sized kid. He's what, 180, 190 pounds?
6'1", 200. They have him listed.
Is that what he is, 200 pounds?
Timeout, Wheeling Park. And we said this during the break. And we mentioned this. What Wheeling Park's doing right now, and I mentioned this earlier in the game, they're not asking Brad Kalski to try and win this game. They're asking him just to go out there, hand the ball off to Cherry, hand it off to Tominek, run clock. And right now, the way that Park offensive line's moving and the way Cherry's breaking tackles, you don't have to throw the football.
And don't do anything to hurt us. And I'll tell you one thing. Let's don't forget Tominek, because I'll tell you what, he might be the difference in this half.
Well, yeah, I mean, he had the one touchdown he already had, and then the big run on third down over here when he was pretty much just stuffed in the backfield.
Pretty awfully good block.
Well, the thing is Bellaire has such an explosive offense. We've seen him score so quick. If you're Park, you want to try and shorten this game as much as possible. And so by running the ball, you can just run clock and not give the ball back to Bellaire.
It's so dominating right now. I don't think I remember Bellaire making first down in the third quarter.
Now, Bellaire, unfortunately for them, as I said, it's been the field position's just been slanted Wheeling Park this entire second half. Bellaire hasn't had much of an opportunity to do things offensively. Here's Cherry again, right up the middle. Morris is going to take it down. And do we have a loose ball? We do, and it's recovered by Bellaire. Well, that could be the big break of the Big Red team. They'll take over right at about the 13-yard line. So on back-to-back plays, Morris Cherry loses the ball. Luckily on the play before, he lost it out of bounds. That time fumbling it forward.
Fumbling, and Dustin recovered the fumble for Bellaire. Dustin Barnes, I'm sorry.
There it is. Barnes right on top of it. And so Bellaire's going to take back over.
That could be a big
at their own. Yeah, I mean, if you're Wheeling Park's driving for a possible touchdown that puts them up maybe 11 points. Now Bellaire's got it back down just 4. And we've seen their offense do some big things, even from deep in their own end. Here's Jeremy Rieger breaking some tackles. And he'll get up to about the 18-yard line. A gain of about 6.
That play, Lucius came off, and he came in clean. And could get one arm on the running back, and he couldn't stop him. He came close to breaking that out of there.
Now Bellaire.
Jeremy Rieger's not a bad back.
No, not at all. Bellaire's got several guys that can run the football. Rieger, Littell, we saw Jeffries,
Rodman,
we saw Redman. And they've got 4 guys that they can give the ball to, and they're going to get some good yardage out.
They got 2 big size.
They got to get this play off quick. They're down to 2-1, and they just get it off. And it's not going to go for much. Maybe about a yard, maybe.
They got about third down to 3 coming up.
Third and a long 3, close to 4 from the 18. Looks like they need right at about the 22. Rieger was the ball carrier again that time. And Bellaire was in a hurry to try and get it off, and then when they got the snap off, they Looked as if maybe a little confusion in the backfield, but Park had great penetration as well that time. So this is what's been the problem for Bellaire this half. They've gotten to this point, but then that's it. They haven't been able to move past this point any further, and then they've been forced to punt from deep in their own end. So this is a big play for them. Here's Stefano all over Wallner, down at about the 6-yard line. Nick Stefano just crossed the block, right in on Matt Wallner that time. He had no chance. They're going to say his forward progress was ended at about the 10-yard line, so that's somewhat of a break from Bellaire. But again, they're going to be punting from their own end.
Blew an assignment. I think the fullback's supposed to pick him up right there.
They just ran right by.
He just didn't get to him.
He did somewhat of a move, almost juking him out of it, but I mean, Stefano was just untouched again. There's Benji Littell. He's been standing in his own end zone most of the night. That's a good snap. Not a real good punt. Downer's going to pick it up. Downer tried to tight wire it. He's out at about the 30, but look at this field position for Park again.
Yeah, they're on
35-yard line. I mean,
34-yard line.
this has just been the bad news for Bellaire all night. I mean, they can't keep the ball out of their side of the field. You know, a lot of that, though, has to go to Wheeling Park's defense because they've been able to dominate that line of scrimmage and the big plays. Big play by T.O. Sears on the strip to Baldwin. It was going to be a big play. If you're Wheeling Park here, though, you just want to try and control the clock, and
once again,
you can't be turning the ball over, though.
Less than 10 minutes, I'll tell you one thing. I agree with you, Scott. I don't think that ball would ever be in the air.
Here's Stefano. There's a penalty flag down. Morris Cherry. He's got big yardage. If this isn't against Park, Morris Cherry's going to score. 5 touchdowns. We'll see if it's coming back or not.
Tight end was in motion.
Illegal motion against Wheeling Park. Bring it back. Morris Cherry just ran the ball 35 yards for a possible Wheeling Park touchdown, but it was dead from the time she was snapped. Because Park was in illegal motion.
Yeah, they set the tight end in motion. And,
well, that's too bad for Wheeling Park because
it's been awfully close all evening. Every time he's run this motion, it's been awfully close whether he's turned up too quick. You watch right here.
Oh boy, if that's the call, I don't know.
Well, that's what it was.
If that's what they're going off, I don't know about that. I mean, he was faced forward, but I don't know if he'd started his motion forward or not. I mean, you're allowed to be faced forward and not running in forward progress yet. But hey, they're down there, I'm up here. There's no doubt about that.
I told you, Scott, officials are never wrong.
Now this is a pretty good crew. There's these guys, Jack Prettyman, the referee out there, and these guys do an excellent job. Here's the motion from the fullback. Fake it, and sacked is Kowski. There's a penalty flag.
Face mask.
We may have a face masking penalty against Bellaire, and we do, and Littell is down again with more cramps. Well, that was going to be a big play for Bellaire, but it might be negated because of the face mask. We'll see if it was 5 yards or the big one. And I think it's going to be a personal foul face mask. The Wheeling Park players are signaling first down. This could be a 15-yard personal foul face mask penalty. We'll wait for the officials' call here. Park trying to maybe catch Bellaire off guard a little bit there with the fake to the tailback and then Kowski dropping. Bellaire was not faked, however, and they were all over Brad Kowski, and luckily for Wheeling Park, in a sense, the penalty flag will bail them out of what was going to be some poor field position.
Close. I'm going to see that. Here's the replay.
Here's Kowski at quarterback. Tomanak, the motion man. We're going to be up to a play here quick. We may have to get out of this. Yeah, right there at the end, he pulled him down by it after he'd already gone by him. Here's Cherry. No running room that time. Boy, Bellaire doing a good job to stuff it up. But right at the end of the play, Dan, after he'd gone over his back, he pulled him from the bottom to pull him down to the field. So, good call by the officials. Morris Cherry gains, about 3 yards, we'll say.
They come up and run that counter tray again. Bellaire had it shut down that time.
Now, the thing for Park that they like, though, is the clock's turning.
Right.
And they're in the lead. So, we're under 9 minutes now left to play. I said again, Downer split out to the top, T.O. Sears to the bottom, Stefano's the tight end to the near side. I set with Tomanak and Cherry. Here's Kowski keeping it, gets away from one man at the 30, 25, and he'll be out of bounds at about the 21. He'll have a Wheeling Park first down. Boy, good play by Kowski. Looked like he was going to be knocked for a loss, but he did a good job to just kind of sidestep a would-be defender and get around him for a nice gain.
I'll tell you,
Here it is again.
That was a called play, and the left guard, Kevin Scott, makes a heck of a block.
Yeah, right there. He helped just pushed Wallner out of the way enough to get some room for Kowski to open up that hole.
You know, you can see Kowski's a very athletic young man.
He's in a learning process, unfortunately, in varsity football right now. Here's an eye set again. Here's Cherry.
There's the isolation up inside.
And that's going to go for about 3 yards, 4 yards, up to about the 16. And you know, if you're Wheeling Park, you'll take that every time. 3, 4 yards right up the middle. Turn the clock, move the sticks.
Yeah,
Bellaire's in a mode. Bellaire, if you're Bellaire right now, you'd really, there's plenty of time left, but you'd really like to keep him out of the end zone.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
If you can hold him to a field goal and keep it a 7-point ball game, then you'd feel really good about your chances still.
You know, it's strange. You know, we were talking about before the game, but we're in another situation. I look at the Kowski kid, it gives me an idea how old I am. His father played for me.
Here's Cherry trying to get to the corner. There's a penalty flag thrown.
I don't know what they called there, but I'll tell you, Stem Kowski, that outside linebacker, had it
Wheeling
in.
Park.
Offensive holding. That's a big play right there.
Sure is.
But as I was saying, you know, Kowski's father, Tommy, who played for St. John's when I was down there, and then went on to Kent, had an outstanding collegiate career. So the young man has got great bloodlines.
And how old are you? You coach a lot of these kids' dad.
I'm older than Wood, I think. Seems like every game we have or somebody I had.
We said that before the game because you were telling me about that, and I said, geez, I remember last year, you know, just about every game we did, you coached somebody out there, their dad. Here we go again with another season, huh? That's a big play, big penalty, makes it 2nd and about 17 or 18. Here's Kowski looking to throw.
He's got
Stefano open, but it's picked off.
Big play.
Big play. By Bellaire.
He might go a long way. Kowski saved it.
There's a penalty flag.
Called a clip.
Downfield. Might be clipping against Bellaire. Littell is down again.
That's right.
With 4 cramps.
Once you get them hard set in there, they're going to come back on it.
Yep.
Penalty, but he's got the ball, and that's what he wanted.
Yeah, illegal block below the knees, I think, is the call they got there on the play. Here's Kowski. He had a man, but you know he underthrew it a little bit. Had Stefano, but he didn't lead him enough. The off man came up there. Baldwin just stepped right in front of it.
There's a call there. I'd question that call, but that's not for me to do.
And there's a look at Benji Littell. He's really struggling with the cramps here in the second half. He's having some major problems. But here we go again. Bellaire with another break on another Wheeling Park turnover. Park really hurting themselves. I mean, this could be a much different ball game right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Wheeling Park last time down inside the 20, fumble by Morris Cherry. Wheeling Park down inside the 20 again. A penalty, then an interception by Brad Kowski. So back-to-back possessions, Wheeling Park's had a chance at scoring, and turnovers have really bitten them. And now Bellaire, because of that, has been able to stay in the ball game, only down by 4 with 7:20 remaining. I mean, there's plenty. Bellaire's one play away from turning this into a lead. So
just exactly what you said. Do we want to take a chance or do we want to run the clock? You know, it's.
Yeah, I guess they thought, being 2nd and 18, we're not going to get it all on the ground, so let's put it up.
And that was a relatively safe throw.
Just a little underthrown
and come off and made a good interception.
Yeah. Well, here's Wallner. Offset split backs behind him. They're going to give it to Jeffries, and he'll get about 3 yards up to about the 14-yard line. Clock will wind down to 7:10.
On the stop of the Patriots.
See if at some point, if Bellaire decides to try and go up top on that man-to-man coverage outside. They've had success throughout the ball game with that situation. They're going to send twin wideouts to the top side. Eye set behind Wallner. Single wideout to the bottom on 2nd and about 7. And here is Wallner doing just what I said. There's separation, just a little overthrown that time, intended for Ben Doyle. Ben Doyle got separation from Rob Downer, and if Doyle catches that in stride, he's got a chance to get some big yardage and possibly take it to the house.
Doyle's a tight end. To get a tight end that deep, he's got to have pretty good speed.
And he's got excellent speed, it looks as if,
but
on that outside.
Downer had him covered pretty good.
Wallner with another good ball, just a little too long that time.
Okay.
And it's going to set up. Here we go again, though, Dan, where you're looking at a 3rd and long from deep inside your own end. If you don't pick it up, you're looking at punting from about your own goal line again. So
yeah, it is.
This is where Bellaire's been really stuck all second half. Here's Wallner, pressure from Park. He gets away, hit as he throws it. It's in the air, and it's incomplete. Hit as he went to throw it that time.
Josh Boyd, I think.
Might have been Boyd, and may have been also, I don't know if it was James Tuxbury or not. There's 65, also number 65 in there. Looks as if he may have been in there on the situation as well. But
once again, the pressure.
Here it is on the replay. And Tuxbury was there, and then who steps up? 71, Justin Teravisky. You're right. Here's the snap, and that is, I believe, Wallner, or no, not Wallner, number 42 for Bellaire punting, Justin Shepard, and that's an excellent punt. Here's Downer trying to get outside, and he's stopped. That's the one thing you can't, just keep on running. You can't, don't try and stop and cut back, but still.
Once again, Dustin Barnes is down there again.
But here you go again, the ball not clearing midfield. It's at the 46-yard line, and so, again, playing on the Bellaire side of the football field. We'll go ahead and take a break. We've got 6:22 remaining in our ball game. Wheeling Park leading 24-20. Back with more in a moment. Back at the stadium now, Wheeling Park, 1st and 10 from the 46. Here's Morris Cherry, just couldn't keep his balance. Trying to go sideways that time, got tripped up. I think Stemkowski was the man that stuck his head up in the pile that time and kind of knocked Morris off balance. It's a loss of about 2. But if Cherry's able to keep his balance, he's got some running room outside.
I'll tell you, Stemkowski, I've been impressed with the young man tonight. He's not a real big kid, but I'll tell you,
he's not afraid of the action, though, is he?
Strong side, outside linebacker, and he's handled it very, very well.
Well, 2nd and 12 now from about the 48. Clock under 6 minutes. We're at 5:40 remaining. Deep eye set this time for the Park. They're going to give it to the fullback, Tominac, and Tominac, you know, just like you like your traditional fullback, just takes it and he just runs straight ahead. Just run straight ahead.
He's not going to try to fool anybody. He's not going to run around anybody.
That's what you want from a fullback. Just give me the ball and I'm going to get you 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, I always figured a fullback, particularly in your I formation team, you get the fullback and, you know, give him the ball every once in a while just to make him happy.
Oh, yeah, because he's blocking. Most of the time, he's just sticking his nose somewhere where he doesn't want to put it, you know, trying to block somebody for the tailback who gets all the glory. They're going to line him out on the end just behind Stefano now on 3rd and about 6. Cherry fumble and Bellaire. There's another turnover by Wheeling Park. The turnovers just killing the Patriots here in the second half, and Bellaire finally has some decent field position to begin a drive near midfield at about the 47-yard line.
Well, you got just under 4 minutes and 59 seconds, a lot of time, but you know, Bellaire's got to do something on this.
The turnover bug, though, just killing the Patriots here in this ball game in this 4th quarter. They could have put this game away. Cherry almost looked like he wasn't even expecting it, and he's got to be expecting it. He's a low man in the backfield.
He's already back there.
Now, big possession here for both teams. Defensively for the Park, Bellaire offensively. They finally got a chance. Here's Wallner going up top, and it is incomplete. High ball that time. It was up there for, those are the kind of, boy, they make your heart skip a beat for a second because it just seems like it hangs up there forever. Baldwin, the intended receiver.
Great play by Sears again. I know Baldwin's going to come back in the huddle. He's going to tell Wallner, he said, don't hang me out.
Yeah.
But, you know, right next door to a gold watch, you know, he was close to completing it. And
Now Bellaire now is 2nd and 10 from the 46. This is their best field position of the half. And we're under 5 minutes to go in the game. Wallner to throw, and it is tipped. Wow, what a good play defensively that time by Justin Teravisky. Just sticking his big paw out there, 6'5", 235, just batting that ball down from Wallner.
Well, that's 2 times in the last 2 series that he's
Watch
knocked
him
the
on
ball
the end
down.
here. He's the down lineman on the end. the tackle.
He does what you teach
right
him.
there, boy.
You teach a defensive lineman that if you can't get off the line of scrimmage on a pass,
Get your hands
get
up.
up in the air.
Ben Doyle was the intended receiver, and he was open. But Taravisky just got his hand up there and batted it away. Big third down play here for Bellaire. And there's going to be a timeout taken by the Big Reds. I think they want to make sure they got the right situation here. This is a huge play for the Big Reds with 4:48 to go. Let's take a break. Bellaire with a big 3rd and 10 from their 46, trailing by 4. Back with more of the fourth quarter in a moment here on WTRF 7. We're back at the stadium. 4:48 to go in our ball game. Park up 24-20. Bellaire a huge 3rd and 10 from their 46. Wallner under center, eye set. Twin wideouts to the bottom. They'll fake the handoff. Park with good pressure. Wallner now having to roll. Still trying to throw the football. Does, and it is caught. Great catch by Stemkowski. First down, Bellaire.
That was a great play by Wallner. He was being chased by the whole defensive line.
And Littell is down yet again. Boy, what a play by Wallner. I mean, Wallner was in a dead-out sprint for his life. Able to get it off under control, and Stemkowski, that would have been a good catch in the NFL. He got both feet down right along the sideline. Great play. Wallner just running and running and running, able to get it away. Look at, boy, good catch that time by Stemkowski. Excellent play. And, you know, Littell right now is he's battling himself to stay in the football game.
You know, that's the thing. Like
and
I said earlier,
he just can't keep the cramps out of there.
Once you get them, they set in hard, you're going to have them in and out the rest of the time.
Boy, that could have been the play of the game right now.
Right now,
because
it
if
really
that's a sack by Wheeling Park, Bellaire's punting on 4th and long. Now Bellaire's got a first down in Park territory for what I believe is the first time of the second half. I think this is the first time they've been over the 50
I'm not
of the
sure
second half.
If that might be the first down.
I think you might be right.
But, you know, the thing
they couldn't come at a better time, though, with 4:40 remaining and down by 4.
You said the biggest play of the game so far, absolutely, because I think that the turning point of the ball game was the snap over the punter's head at the end of the half.
Yeah.
Because that's what turned the whole
That really did
momentum
turn
around.
it. You're right, because Park got a field goal. They made it a 10-point game.
They got the ball
Came out
start
second half touchdown.
Right.
Got another touchdown. Look at Wall. That's a good throw for a quarterback that is right-handed, running to his left. Gets it off, puts it in a place where only Stemkowski could catch it. And that's one whale of a catch, too. That's a great football play. Joe Bellaire with 1st and 10 from the Park 41 now. Driving. Here's Wallner to throw. Going up top. Has a man, and it is, boy, I think both players just lost the ball.
I think they all lost in the lights.
I think you're right, because if Stemkowski keeps on running, I think he catches that. And Downer, if he knows where the ball is, he's got a chance at an interception.
Well, I'll tell you what. You watch.
But I think you're right. They lost it in the lights. Here you go. Watch at the end. I mean, these guys almost think it's like thrown to the other side of the field. What? They weren't expecting it at all. Wood was there for Park.
Stefano's putting great pressure.
Yeah, he's getting a good rush.
They're coming off of it. Bellaire's doing a pretty good job right now on Lucius, but the two kids over here on the strong side are coming.
Here's the handoff to Rieger. There's a penalty, probably going to be holding. Rieger, though, big running room. T.O. Sears trying to bring him down. Finally, Justin Wood helps finally corral him over the 30 at about the 29, but I think this play's coming back.
They call holding on the center.
Yeah. Lucius is a little gimpy right now. He's bent over at about the 37, and he's got a little bit of a limp, and probably, might be more cramped.
I want to see this play.
We'll see if we have it for you on replay, Coach, or not. Hold on.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they ran a slant.
Do we have that?
Lucius ran a slant. They run the fullback right up where he left from.
Let's see if we have it or not here. Holding is the call against Bellaire. That's a big, big play.
Oh,
Rieger had a huge gain.
That's a 30-yard play.
Yeah, that takes it from the Park 29 back to the Bellaire 46. Then look, I don't think we have it on replay here for you. You hear some people say you could call holding on every play of the game.
Oh, absolutely, you could, and particularly the way the rules are today.
Yeah. See if we have time to watch it again or not.
Well, right now, he calls holding on the center.
Here's Wallner looking to throw, and Wallner is going to be sacked back at the 25. Lucius is back there for Wheeling Park. Also in on the tackle that time, I believe it was number 24, Trey Martin. Wheeling Park has a player down, though, Mark Peterson.
The big one.
Big number 75. I think he might be suffering from some cramps, maybe as well.
I don't know. He
might have a knee.
He might have a knee.
Yeah. Well, boy, there's a huge play right there. Park with good penetration defensively. Lucius and Trey Martin. You know, if you're Bellaire in the last two plays, you've gone from being on Wheeling Park's 29 back to your own 26. Well, that's a huge change. And we'll see. And Peterson is in so he's going to make it up. That's good. He's up to a seated position already. And it looks like they're looking at the right knee, though.
Looking at his knee, and that's one thing you worry about a big kid. You know, 335 pounds. You know, you twist it a little bit, you know, you're in trouble because you know that weight starts moving.
Yeah. There's no turning back.
That's why, you know, the big college players today and the big pro linemen, that's why they have, you know, it's nothing for these guys. You know, they have 8 or 10 knee operations.
Oh, who was it? Mark Schlereth from the Denver Broncos just retired. I think he had 20-some during his career with the Denver Broncos. Well, this is a good sign for the Park, though. Peterson back up to his feet, and he's coming off the field. But he is a big, big football player for Wheeling Park. Number 79, he's just a junior. 6'1", 335. He's not done growing.
He's okay. He's losing his pants, but he's
that's all right.
Good.
You're that big, it's hard to keep your pants up sometimes. It is a huge play here, if there ever was one. 3rd and about 40.
3rd and forever.
From the 27. Bellaire, though, smartly just going to throw it up. They got Dustin Barnes, who just has it go off of his hands.
Almost got it.
That would have got it back to about 4th and about 10.
I think if he'd have caught that, John would have gone.
Oh, yeah, because they'd have been deep in Wheeling Park territory. Now, you're Bellaire, you got to punt. And now you got to hope your defense comes out here to play some field position.
There's less than 4 minutes. He's got to kick it away.
Well, now you're hoping, as Justin Shepard got a good kickoff the last time, you're hoping he can come out here and boot one, maybe down to about the 30 if he could. You get good coverage, you come out here, you get 3 and out, and maybe you get some good field position back. Decent snap, and it's not a great kick, not horrible. There's a fair catch, called by Rob Downer at the 45. So Park will have good field position, 3:42 remaining. Bellaire has 2 timeouts. Wheeling Park has 2 timeouts. The Park leads 24-20 over Bellaire, with, as I said, 3:42 remaining in the ball game. And I don't think you'll see the ball in the air at all for Wheeling Park the rest of the way.
I don't think
you're going to see a lot of Tominac and a lot of Cherry. Yeah. You're going to see a lot of Tominac and Cherry, I would think.
Cherry's put the ball on the
That's been the problem. He's fumbled 2 of the last 3. And there's Kowski on the keeper. And that's going to get about 2 yards up to about the 48. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Wheeling Park. DeVault on the tackle that time for Bellaire. And the good part for Park is that clock winds. They should be down to about 3 minutes when they snap this next play. So they'll be able to run at least down to about 2 minutes, even if they're forced to punt. Here's Stefano.
See, now he was in motion.
Here's Cherry, and there's the penalty flag. I think they're going to call it again. There's Cherry, just trying to bull his way up to midfield. He gets there, and if it stands, it would be a gain of about 2 yards.
I don't know where the flag comes from.
The flag comes from the far side of the field. Stefano was in motion this way.
The tight end was in motion. He's been close all night, and they called him once, and they should have called him that time.
That's what they got.
Yeah.
Illegal motion, Wheeling Park.
See, my old eyes.
Here we go again, Coach. Here you go again.
You watch him. He'll come over. He'll turn to face in front. But watch. There you go. See? He hops, but he's hopping forward.
Hopping forward. He's to hop sideways. Well, we're under 3 right now. 2:59. It's going to be a loss of 5 for Wheeling Park, but I think Bellaire's going to go ahead and decline, take the down.
Absolutely.
Because you don't want you give Park a chance to run 2 more plays, run more clock.
Plus the clock starts.
Yep. Once they place it in once they spot the ball. So they'll give him the carry over the 50 to the 49. Here is Park up on the line of scrimmage. Patriots trying to quick snap it there. They wanted to go ahead and run that play. Officials had to blow it back into play. Here's Stefano. That time he stays back. And look at Tominac again. He's going to have a first down.
He got a first down.
Cody Tominac just goes in there, keeps his legs moving, drives forward, and just, he just kind of stays with the pack and goes for what he can. That's a big first down for Wheeling Park. Because now they're going to have a chance to run in at least 3 more plays at 2:46 remaining before they, if they would, have to punt. So
if Blair doesn't call a timeout, they should be able to take his down to close to
Bellaire still has 2 left, but they've elected not to take one yet. Might be trying to wait until they get the ball back offensively. That's if they get it back here, though. I said again. Kowski, long count. Pitch to Cherry. Morris looking for a hole. And right now I think Morris is trying to cover that ball up. Bellaire's trying to strip it. Smartly, obviously. And there's a timeout from Bellaire. 2:17 left. Second, and it looked like it'll be 2nd and 9. They'll give him about a yard. Up to about the 43. And Bellaire now will have 1 timeout remaining. Big Reds right here need to get 2 more stops, get the ball back, and need to let Wallner go to work tossing it upfield.
I think Coach Nardoni is going to have, of course, Park's open next week, and then they'll play Steubenville the 3rd game. I think depending on what's going to happen with Banks, I think he's going to have to make some kind of decisions on what he's going to try to do offensively.
Well, that's the thing. You got a week off. So,
I'll tell you one thing. They've been more efficient the second half than they were the first half.
Well, the thing is that Mark said, he told me this week they were going to be pretty much wide open from an offensive standpoint. I think that was the plan with Banks, to kind of swing him out, throwing the ball on the flats. But with him out of the game plan now, and depending, like you said, how long he's out, do you go to more of just a power running, high-set game?
Look at it the other way, even if he's back. Are you better off with him in there or with these
with Tominac at fullback and Cherry at the tail?
You may be better off to take Banks and just put him out there as a
wide out. Yep. There's even times, I don't know how much they'd be willing to do this. With those kind of guys in the backfield, you could go double tight end.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's a split backfield off Cello. Here's Kowski going to keep it. He's got some room on the outside. Trying to stay in bounds as well.
I'm going to tell you what.
Boy, good closing speed that time for Bellaire. Who was that over there?
Kowski, I'm going to tell you something. He's not
he ran him down.
Because I thought Kowski was on the corner. Well, Kowski come from the linebacker spot.
3rd down now for Park. 3rd and about 8.
2 minutes and 9 seconds to go.
And he did go out of bounds, so the clock stops. Wheeling Park would love to pick up the first down, obviously, and keep it in their possession. Bellaire looking for a big stop here to keep their hopes alive of winning this ball game. Here's Cherry. Morris Cherry got room. He's at the 35, trying to get outside, has a first down and more. Now he's just trying to stay in bounds. Smartly stays in bounds. Morris Cherry down to the 26-yard line. Now that's a heady play
that was an excellent
by a high school football player.
Jefferson from Blair saved the touchdown.
And when Park needed a big play, Morris Cherry's able to come up with it. Great blocking again by that big Wheeling Park line. Good pull right there.
Run a counter again, and he kicked to the outside, and he's got decent speed.
Yeah, for a power back, he has the ability to kind of, as they say, kick it into kind of a different gear on the corner. Here's a nice set again by Wheeling Park. We're under 2 minutes to play. There's Tominac, and he still
picks up 5.
This kid's just a bull. He is. There's 5 yards, right up the gut to about the 20.
Nothing fancy.
And I think Bellaire's going to use their final timeout with 1.5 minutes left.
I think in this game, Scott, there's been a couple situations that of course, Park turned the ball over 3 or 4 times in the first and second half.
Yeah.
But the snap over to punter's head was very crucial.
The last 30 seconds of the first half turned this ball game completely around.
But the holding call on the center here cost them 40 yards. And Blair's driving. They're on their own 26-yard line with the first down.
That changed
they end up back
completely.
Then the next play, they got sacked. They ended up with
they went from being on, what was it, like Park's 29 back to their own 26 on back-to-back plays. Those are huge losses.
But
If you're Bellaire, I mean, they've played well, but the problem's been the whole second half is pretty much, other than that drive,
right.
The whole second half was played in their end.
Well, not only that, you can't live. You're going to die on 3rd and long.
Yeah.
You got to try to
And there was
stay.
way too many 3rd and long
the whole second half.
Well, we're down to a minute and a half to go. Crowd starts to somewhat file out of here. Huge crowd from Bellaire here tonight. Wheeling Park with a lot of fans as well. Wheeling Park will be off next week. Bellaire will be home next Saturday. At least they hope so.
John Marsh.
Still all that questions with their stands at the stadium at Nelson Field. Yeah, they'll host John Marshall. Here's Kowski, and wow, the handoff that time to Morris Cherry. Great play for Bellaire that time. Jason LaRoche, he almost took the handoff.
Jason's a big
kid,
about
and if you're Park, you got to realize, hey, we can't be sloppy. There's still a minute 15 to go. We're only up 4 points.
You know, they're going against it. You know,
Bellaire gets the ball. They throw it downfield one time to Doyle or Baldwin. They got a touchdown, and this game's completely different.
Plus, they got to look. They're going to Steubenville, and some of these plays where they ran people down tonight, I don't know whether you can run the Steubenville kids down because they're awfully quick.
Here's Cherry. Park just trying to run clock. That's 3rd down.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Once again, there they go again. There's Stemkowski in there. You know, he must have had 10, 12 tackles tonight. 39 seconds to go.
Now, if you're Park, you're going to run one more offensive play. Let's see, there's 20 on the game clock. 30, about a 14-second difference.
Blair has no time
between the game clock and the play clock. Yeah, go ahead, take the penalty and then run a play. You're right. That's a smart thing to do because you'll run it down to about 16 seconds remaining. Actually, it'll be a little less. It'll be about 14. Clock will stop. 13 seconds left. Delay a game. Wheeling Park, just a 5-yard penalty. And now, if you're Park, you'll run one more play, and that pretty much will be it.
13 seconds. Take a knee. Don't take a chance of fumbling. Just quarterback, take a knee.
Bellaire's got to be frustrating because they were up 20-7 at one point. It looked like the momentum had completely shifted their way late in that second quarter. And like you said, I mean, that one play, the snap over the head inside the final 10 seconds of the half,
turned the whole ball
really
game
turned the ball game completely over. There's 10 seconds left. Bellaire will get another chance. If you're Wheeling Park, you got just about everybody, I would think, back deep.
Oh, absolutely.
You're going to send some guys on pressure, but minimal. Maybe you send 3 and drop 8. What was a pretty fast-moving ball game has definitely slowed down here in the second half.
It's been almost a 2-hour and 45-minute game. But you got Blair. How many times did Blair throw the foot?
Putting the ball up in the air.
Game time here at Wheeling Island Stadium is at 7:30. Once again, the Patriots' next home contest is coming up Friday, September 7th.
And we must have had how many cramps?
Yes, many. Littell himself was down at least 4 or 5 times. And the one time was he was down for about 10 minutes the one time.
Yeah. Look.
Before they could get him out of the end zone.
Park going to rush 3.
That's what I said, 3 up, 8 back.
I think I'd rush with 2.
Well, you know what Bellaire's got to do. And surprisingly, Bellaire only has 3 wideouts. Park, though, gets great pressure. Wallner happened to try and run away. He's got a chance to throw it down, and it is intercepted, and that'll end the ball game. Go down, and that's a smart play, Justin Wood. Wheeling Park wins their opener 24-20 over the Bellaire Big Reds tonight at Wheeling Island Stadium. Bellaire had a 20-10 halftime lead, but they don't score in the second half. As Wheeling Park comes back to win this one tonight, 24-20 over the Bellaire Big Reds, and open their season at 1-0, while Bellaire will slip to 0-1. We'll go ahead and we'll take a break, and we'll come back with some final thoughts in a moment. Once again, your final score: Wheeling Park 20, Wheeling Park 24, Bellaire 20. Now there's a look at Morris Cherry. Park leaned on him in the second half, and he had a couple of fumbles that possibly could have been costly, but when they needed some big plays, Morris Cherry came up for Wheeling Park big time.
Yeah, he had an excellent football game. You know, he's a power runner inside, but he's got enough quickness. He gets outside, and I think he's he's not a scat back type, but I'm sure the Park staff, you know, once they find out about Banks,
well, that's the thing. We'll have to see what his situation. Luckily for Wheeling Park, as we said, they're off next week.
Right.
You know, I asked Mark Nardoni about that earlier. I said, "Do you like having that off week?" And he wasn't sure. But right now, he's probably loving that off week right now.
Depends on how beat
depends
up
on your
you are.
situation, exactly. So we look at it, though, and we mentioned this pretty much the entire second half, that high snap over Littell's head.
Right.
Late in the second half that led to the field goal.
Snap, and then you got the holding on the center here. And those are two plays.
Two key plays
that
really.
Two plays out of the game, you know, it might be altogether different.
Yep. You know, that's unfortunately
Well,
the way
again,
it goes. That's football. So I mean, you know, you have those plays that really you're out there and you give it everything you got, but it's just a couple of plays sometimes that just completely sway the way a football game goes. And Wheeling Park was able to survive also a number of costly turnovers, 2 fumbles and an interception that really could have turned this into a 3-score win for Wheeling Park.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It was for an opening game. It wasn't a bad football game. It was sloppy at times, but the effort was outstanding by all the kids in both teams. And I think that down the road, there's going to be 2 pretty good football teams.
I think Bellaire found their quarterback in Wallner. I think he had a good game tonight. And as you said, I think we're seeing 2 teams. I think that both are going to have pretty good futures this season. You're looking at a Bellaire football team that I think could still go out and win 8 football games the rest of this season, no doubt. And you're looking at a Wheeling Park football team that has a chance, I think, to go out and do some good things too and possibly win 7, 8, 9 football games. Both of these teams play murderous schedules, so they're going to meet some tough teams down the road. So the health status is going to be big for both of these clubs as well as the season continues to go on. And that's the way it is every year for every football team. If you can stay healthy, you got a good chance of being good.
You know, you look at the situation, and you know, Harris Park is one of the bigger schools in the state.
Yep.
Here's Bellaire. The population is dropping so low that they're not even a city anymore.
Yep.
So their school enrollment is going down. But I tell you, it's a football town. Their participating numbers stay high, and they do an outstanding coaching job there. And you know, so you're having 2 different looks of the spectrum. And Mark Nardoni's doing a heck of a job bringing Park back to where they should be.
Yep.
And it's a situation where both communities should be proud.
Yeah, Mark's really raising the pride in the city of Wheeling. You know, Wheeling is, you know, the largest city in the area, but really, you know, the pride factor and the followership of the football team hasn't been there for a lot of the years.
Oh, absolutely.
And Mark's really turning that around. He's making it a prideful team once again and getting people excited about Wheeling Park football, and hopefully it'll continue to stay that way. Bellaire's got that. I mean, they've had that for years. He's a great crowd of people again here tonight from the town of Bellaire, and they love their football team, win, lose, or draw.
Absolutely.
And they'll be there again to support them next weekend when they take on John Marshall down at Nelson Field. Well, Dan, good opener. Happy to be back with you once again and looking at another long, enjoyable high school football season, buddy.
It's been my pleasure, and I hope I didn't screw it up too much.
Yeah, you were great, buddy, as always.
You know, I enjoy it being here with you or whoever I'm working with at that game, and you know, I've been a football guy all my whole life, and I guess I'll be one till the day I die.
Well, we'll have you next weekend, next Friday, when we are out in Woodsfield in Monroe Central, when Shadyside pays a visit out there. And, of course, coming up tomorrow night on the Game of the Week, you can watch Brooke and John Marshall following the news Saturday night at 11:35. So for Dan McGrew and our entire 7 Sports team, this is Scott Nolte saying so long. You've been watching high school football on WTRF. Our final score again tonight, Wheeling Park 24, Bellaire 20. Good night, everybody.